There you go. Appreciate you.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I was y'all didn't hear that, man.
Hottest radio station across the land. Quarantine Radio. They puts it down and they play all the hottest new music. Let's get it.
It's your boy Gabe, and I want to give a big shout out to Quarantine Radio. Make sure you check them out every Tuesday and every Thursday. And thank you for supporting my new single, Down Low.
I want to hear that new soul-free wisdom on Quarantine Radio.
Yo, what's up, man? It's the Kid Swift, a baby. Young Swift. One time for the check-in with my dog, my homie, Il McKenzie. Straight out of ATL, Georgia. You know how we rockin' out here, baby. Let's get it. I tried being humble. I tried being humble. I tried being humble. Humble get no respect.
Yes, it's your boy iDub once again with another edition of Quarantine Radio. Alright, just to give you everybody like a little update on what's going on with Quarantine Enterprise and everything. As I stated before, I have tickets for the Dreamville Festival event going on April. Dang, I forgot the date, complete date. I'm gonna double check on the date and everything, but hit me up at info@quarantineenterprise.com. I have sold a couple tickets and everything, and like I've been telling everybody, like if you don't get your ticket as soon as you purchase it from me, just hit me up and I'll see what I can do to them. But they do email the tickets to you. It's $10 off when you buy it through us as well. We are working on actually doing a promotion thing with them as well. So there might be an opportunity where I can actually give away tickets. I'm still working out a couple things with them on that. Other thing with the Gridiron Gang, we have our first scrimmage this weekend. It is going to be at Dillard Drive. It is at Dillard Drive, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Dillard Drive Middle School. If y'all don't know where that is, if you are familiar with Crossroads movie theater or just Crossroads period, it is a little bit on that side. Yeah. If you go down Crossroad, you're gonna see to the, depending on where you're going, just look for Dillard Drive, and if you drive down that street, the side away from Moe's, you drive down there, you're gonna see a middle school to your left. If you're coming from Crossroad Plaza and you actually turn down that street, no matter which way you go, it's going to be to your left. Yeah, it's going to be to your left, the middle school and everything. I'm not 100% sure where the field is at, but I'm sure if you ask around, you should be able to find that out. But yeah, so we're going to have a scrimmage, play like 3 different teams. And the first game is March 24th. So there's still time if you're interested in playing for us to hit me up at info@quarantineenterprise.com, and I'll give you all the information on how to play women's flag football with us. Any ladies and everything. All the conditioning part is over. I know I did tell people, but if you had took advantage of joining us earlier, we do have 2 personal trainers on our team, and they just work them out all throughout the off seasons. So that is one thing. It is a discounted price. Before they were actually doing that for free, but now that we're getting into the practice and everything, it is going to be a discounted price to actually work out with our personal trainers and everything. Other than that, we got a lovely guest from Atlanta, Royalty Treatment. She makes organic products and everything. I'm going to bring her on after the music break to have her introduce herself, and then we're going to get into all that information, how you can get her products and stuff like that. First track that I'm about to play is 504 Detroit with You Bad. This is 504 Detroit.
Yo, what it do, world? You are now tuned into the sounds of Quarantine Radio. Bad girl. Girl, you fly, no lie. You come me. That's right. No one but me. You say he don't treat you like I treat you, but you the one told me to leave you. Told you I go get a deal, say you had to see a meal before you could believe. Now you so lonely now when I see you. I be everywhere with my people. We go out to eat and get 1,000 drinks. They'll never decline my visa. Whoop that you said I won't gon' be shit. Yep, that was you that said that. But this Ben said ain't no leasing like that. Ben's never taking you back. I know I will always be on your mind, and I won't lie. You was so fine, but I got over your ass in no time. Good God.
Is my number in your phone still?
Hey, baby.
When you said I never make it,
What was that you that said that?
I saw the chance I had to take
Yeah.
it.
And I do it again in a heartbeat. All these fans that's following, all these women who be modeling. All I do is sit ignore when you calling me. Do you dream of me when you fall asleep? Every night with a different man partying. Well, I'm living my dreams like I thought I'd be while I'm wide awake. Ironically, in the top floor, in a baller suite with my new girl staying all week. You in the same accord for your second kid, 2 baby daddy, 2 car seats. Guess I will always be on your mind, and I won't lie. You was so fine, but I got over your ass in no time. My God.
Is my number in your phone still?
Still got it.
When you said I never make it, I saw the chance I had to take
I had to.
it. I do it
Oh.
again.
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Again and again. I do it. And again and again. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, so this is how it feels when regret just gets so real. When the pages of your story go so wrong, you just can't deal. When you let your insecurities just get so damn strong, they build a wall around your heart so fucking tall that you can't feel and you can't see and you can't hear me. When I tell you just be patient, but I guess it's all my fault for placing my faith in the faithless. I really hope that you find God or something you can believe in and see there's more to life than Louis bags and first class trips on weekends. You needed this. You needed this. You did.
Facts. Yeah, you know how to act. Had a good girl right by your side, gave you all this, but you wanna go get that. I should go a friend for the get back. Never say a word, just chill, sit back. Look him in his eyes while I lick his 6-pack. And break off a little piece of Kit Kat. I could really hit you where it hurts, but I spared you. Thank God I ain't near you. I be thinking how dare your girls can compete, but they can't even compare. Crazy cause you really used to be my ace. Know how many wanna take your place? Bust it up and put it right there in their face. Revenge is sweet and they love had taste. I can't even trust ya, cause you love me stutter. But just think, boy, gon' keep the dust up. Yeah, I don't mean to discuss ya. Yeah, I'm okay. You ain't even in my league. Say you could say them lies. You know I don't believe. Bye-bye, nothing gon' change in my eyes. Oh, you all caps, nice try. Ain't nothing gon' change in my eyes. I don't need the stress in my life. Need somebody real on my side. Need somebody real on my side. Bye-bye. Facts. I just hate that I wasted my time. I'm over here looking like $1 million while you chasing a dime. Taking up space in my mind. Riding my face was a sign, but I ain't pay attention. I guess that love had me blind. All around town with this shit, that shit, making a mockery. Tell them look that I'm done with you. Tell that look quit stalking me. You made your bed, now you gotta sleep in it. You sow these bad seeds, and right now you reaping it. I can't even trust ya, cause you love me stutter. But just think, boy, gon' keep the dust up. Yeah, I don't mean to discuss ya. Yeah, I'm okay. You ain't even in my league. You could say them lies, but no, I don't believe. Bye-bye, nothing gon' change in my eyes. Oh, you all caps, nice try. Ain't nothing gon' change in my eyes. I don't need the stress in my life. Need somebody real on my the trust ya, cause you know I stutter. But just in case, gon' keep it just up. Yeah, I don't mean to discuss ya. Yeah, I'll be okay. You ain't even in my league. So you can say them lies, but you know I don't believe. Bye bye, nothing gon' change in my eyes. Boy, you all caps, nice try. Ain't nothing gon' change in my eyes. I don't need the stress in my life. Need somebody real on my side. Need somebody real on my side. Bye bye.
Alright, we're back. First track was 504 Detroit with You Bad. Second track was Joshua Gunn with Do It Again. And third track was, I guess, from Tuesday, Marley Blue with Can't Believe. As I stated before, today we have another. It's kind of funny. I didn't even realize. I actually booked two Atlanta natives this week. We have another guest from Atlanta, Nykole Smith. She has a organic products. She sells organic products as far as hair, skin, home care, and everything. I'm gonna let her give all the details on that. Nykole, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
All right, well, we glad to have you. Why don't you give like a little brief introduction of yourself before we jump into the interview?
Oh, yeah, sure thing. So I started doing natural skin and hair care about 5 years ago. I was having personal issues with my hair, so I decided, let me just go ahead and make my own products. And from there, it kind of grew into something more, something unexpected. And I'm now doing natural skin and hair care and household products all throughout Atlanta, different pop-up shops, things of that nature. So I'm glad you guys can have me on the radio show tonight to just kind of tell my story.
No problem. I'm going to allow King Cancer to start us off with the interview and everything.
So good evening to you tonight. How you doing today?
Good evening. I'm doing good. It's been a long day, but I'm excited to talk to you.
Yes, I definitely can attest to that. I came straight off of work and came straight here, so it's been a long day. But I wanna ask some quick questions. I want our fans to get to know you a little better. So I just want to start from the beginning. So, born and raised in Atlanta, what part?
Oh, no, I wasn't born and raised in Atlanta. I've lived here about 12 years. Yeah, I was born in New York, and I grew up in Delaware from the age of 1 to 17. So I moved to Georgia in the middle of my senior year, which really sucks because it's the middle of your senior year. But I knew I was going to go to college out here, so I ended up going to Georgia State. And from there, I just made a lot of really good connections and been in Georgia ever since.
Okay, so going from Delaware to Georgia, I mean, especially within the middle of your senior year, how was that transition for you?
Well, I'd never say that I was really attached to my high school or anything like that. There's some people that I still keep in contact with, through Facebook and stuff. But the hardest part for me was that I had to do all the senior stuff all over again. All the state tests that you take through 10th through 12th grade, I had to do all of them within 6 months. So that was a little stressful.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that because I myself, when I was in high school, I had moved from Connecticut to Virginia, and that was like in the middle of 9th grade. So even though it was still like in the beginning of being in high school, it was still, when I got down to Virginia, or actually it was like after my 9th grade year. So I was a sophomore. So when I got down to Virginia, it was, a lot of the credits that I had, they didn't accept it. So I was taking sophomore and freshman classes at the same time.
I wish it would just cross across all schools, but I'm glad I moved when I did because I was able to get hope. Went to Georgia State, and my next door neighbors, she had moved about 6 months before me, so she had her whole senior year. She had moved from Cali to Georgia, so we kind of connected on that, and we became really good friends.
Okay, So you went to Georgia State. Did you when you went to Georgia State, was your business in mind going into Georgia State, or
No, not at all. Going into Georgia State, I was still focused on accounting.
Okay.
My high school had in Delaware, my high school had a really big business department. So I did accounting, A plus basics, anything dealing with like Access, spreadsheets, PowerPoints. So I was really focused on business. I have a business degree, and halfway through my junior year, I actually decided to double major in sociology. So I was in College of Arts and Sciences and College of Business, just kind of bouncing between the different classes and professors. But up until my junior year, I was convinced I was going to do something in accounting. But as we got into the higher level classes and we were focused more on theory than the actual practice, I started to get bored. Accounting started to lose me. I had an internship, so that really let me know that this is not for me.
Okay. So did your business, when you in the beginning of going into your business, was that after college, or were you still in college at that time?
That was after college. I graduated December 2010, and I'd say between that point and early 2013, it was just a whole lot of dead space. I wasn't doing anything. I would leave one meeting to go to a volunteer event, to go to class, to go to work, to I just have a part-time job. And I was like, what is going on right now? This is not how I envisioned life to be. But that's kind of how it was. And I feel like everyone has that dead space transition where like nothing's going right or nothing's happening at all. Mm-hmm. So I just felt really stagnant. I honestly wasn't even thinking of doing this as a business. Like I said, I started off because I was having issues with my hair. So probably because of the stress, because life stagnation, I wasn't doing anything else. My hair was like thinning and it would fall out. It was just like too much hair falling out. So I started researching different conditioners. So I started with deep conditioner. I remember I did a coconut oil and honey, and I still have the pictures from that. My hair looks luxurious after doing a deep conditioner. You mix those together, equal parts, heat it up. You got to do double broiler over the stove. So that means you've got one pot inside of another, or one glass inside of a pot, or you can be real official and have your double broiler on the stove. Either way, you can set it up. It's a glass within a pot or a pot within a pot. And I let that heat up, put it on my hair. You let it sit for about 30 minutes with your shower cap on, and make sure you put a towel around the edges, or that honey and oil will drip all down your ears, all down your back. When you take it off, though, you don't even have to rinse it. It's like your hair just drinks it. It soaks it in. And I think for a good month, my hair was just living off that. And from there, I started just experimenting. Honestly, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, those are the best ways, outside of a library, of course, to get your research on when you're looking for natural remedies, natural products, different places to source it from, or just to create your own formulas. So when I'm getting ready to make a new product, I really do feel like a scientist, although I always felt like science was never really my strong background. But now I feel differently.
That's hilarious. Okay, all right. I'm gonna pass it to my partner here, Troy.
Okay, excellent. How are you doing today, Nykole?
Doing good, Troy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. The irony of this meeting tonight, I appreciate Il McKenzie for inviting me on. I'm actually, literally, I was just thinking about this over the weekend, about creating my own products myself, because sometimes it's hard to even trust products that are on the shelves.
I agree.
And one of the things that I've been thinking about, because I've been having really, really dry scalp myself, so I definitely took this honey and coconut recipe you just put down. I just wrote it down just so I could try it myself because I could use all of the moisture I can get. So I guess the one thing I wanted to ask first and foremost, congratulations on all of your success. I mean, 5 years of running any business is always tough.
Well, actually, let me correct you. So it's only been about a year and a half. Beforehand, I was just making the products for myself. The lotions, the conditioners, all of that. If it wasn't for the people around me saying, "Do you sell this? Where can I buy this?" Like I said, it wasn't even a thought to start it as a business. But now, full-fledged, one woman. We're packing up the car to go to events. I got my lab set up in the house. So it's been about 18 months. Yeah.
So let me congratulate you on 4 years or 3.5 years of testing on yourself and then moving forward with a business, which is still excellent because you can, it's a product that you can believe in, not to quote, American Gangsta, but it's a brand that you believe in. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Pepsi. You believe in this. But I can definitely appreciate that. And your story, and I'm sure many people have probably mentioned this to you, kind of sounds familiar to Carol's daughter.
Mhm.
Would you agree?
Oh yeah, she's one of the companies. Yeah, she's one of the companies I've researched. Researched a lot of companies, especially ones that were, originally owned by individuals, and then larger corporations ate them up. Like Shea Moisture, I used to use them all the time.
Right.
Until they were bought out. Then they changed their ingredients when that happened. So like you said, you really got to pay attention to what it is you're putting in your hair. Just because it says it's organic, all natural, read the back. Right. How many ingredients are in there and what's at the beginning? Because what's at the beginning is what's mostly in the bottle.
Absolutely, and that's a great tip. And I noticed even on the Instagram page that you have, you try to focus on 8 ingredients or less. Is that something that you go by, like a motto, or is that just something you believe these natural products should have?
More of a motto, because just what I've learned from now sometimes you want to have as many ingredients in there as possible. Of course. But I've learned that the least amount kind of gives you the most benefits, because the more you have in there, they're competing against each other to really get in and help your skin or help your hair the way it needs to. So a lot of times I'll do custom consultations with people to see, okay, what's your specific hair issue or what are your hair goals? Mm-hmm. I even wrote up a couple questions when people want to do gift baskets or just kind of understanding their skin and their hair better. So that way I know what oils and stuff to use for them. Because I have a standard formula. My lotion, no more than 5 ingredients. And that includes the essential oil that's in it. Same thing with the sugar scrubs. The bath bombs have a little more because you really want to make sure you're soaking well in the tub. And absolutely. The bath bomb is just part of the presentation. You got to get the herbs and the essential oils, all your salts. But yeah, I feel like the least amount of ingredients, to me, that gives the product more quality, because you can have an ounce of something, excuse me, you can have an ounce of something and that will last a long time, whether you're using it on your skin or your hair, because you don't need a lot, because those ingredients are really working together.
Absolutely. Now, how was the transition from focusing on hair care to skin care?
It's actually pretty similar. The only thing you have to think about is the skin on your head is a little different. It's more sensitive. Right. You're going to get dandruff versus your skin will get ashy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you're focused on different things. Skin elasticity versus your scalp, because it's really sensitive. It's typically exposed all the time, as opposed to your skin. You're always wearing clothes. But a lot of the same butters and oils that you use on your skin, you can also use on your hair. It's just a matter of like I said. So, for example, if you've got dandruff, mm-hmm. you'd want to do rosemary essential oil, tea tree, and then depending on your hair texture, you also have to think, am I trying to work on split ends? Do I just want to work on growth? So different goals require different oils. Because if you really want to work on growth, You want to think about jojoba oil, almond oil, avocado oil, and then if you also have a dandruff problem, you can throw in that rosemary essential oil. And now you've got your own little formulation there.
Got it. Wow, that's amazing. I definitely appreciate that. I'm sure the listeners appreciate that information. And it's interesting to hear that you still go to the library, for some of these these tips. I wrote that down here just to make sure, because some people say that's old school, but I'm sure there are some books that just haven't made it to the internet, despite what everybody might believe.
Well, I grew up in the library. I was that kid who every 2 weeks I was checking out 30 to 40 books, reading them, coming back for some more. So I love the library. That's my childhood place.
Nothing wrong with reading a book every once in a while.
30 to 40 books, boy. Oh, girl, you was better than me when I was a child, man.
I didn't do anything else, man. I was a very solitary child.
Yeah, my sister about the same way. Like I remember, she would buy one book, like those thick Harry Potter books, and she'd be done with it by the end of the weekend.
But you want to know something about reading, though, and something that I had learned later on in life. Probably by the time I got to college, I probably read my first book on my own that wasn't assigned. And I noticed about books is that you get such a vivid picture of the descriptions. Like most authors now, well, at least when I started reading, authors began to really paint these vivid pictures, and you can see so clearly what they were trying to depict in that writing. And that's what made me start reading a little bit more. But that's awesome, though, 30 to 40 books. I mean, again, I could tell that you said library. I was like, okay, we're dealing with somebody who might be serious into some research here. But I guess my last thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to see what Il McKenzie wants to throw in here, is the irony that you started with accounting and sociology. And I'll tell you, when I was a kid, not too many people know this, but I wanted to be an accountant when I was a child. I loved counting money. I mean, you give me $10, give me 10 ones, and I would sit there, oh man, I got $10. I would count those tens out or whatever it was. I loved counting money. But then I failed at math in 8th grade, and I shut that whole dream down. I was like, nope, I am not doing this. So you went a little further than I did, so that's fantastic. The other ironic part is that I was actually, I graduated with a bachelor's in sociology. And that's the ironic part, is that you went for something that I wanted to go for, and then also doubled into something that I did while reading 30 books. So, I mean, I definitely give you a lot of credit.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it wasn't planned, but once I realized at Georgia State, you can actually, anyone listening who goes to Georgia State, you can get 2 degrees at the same time.
Of course.
All you have to do is take the credit hours for that major, and if you get that degree within 5 years of getting the first one, you're essentially just paying for an additional year of school.
Got it. Now, why Georgia State? I meant to ask that earlier. Why did you choose Georgia State?
I just told this story to someone the other day. So, 10th grade year, I went on an HBCU tour. We went to Tuskegee, Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse, North Carolina A&T, and we were supposed to go to another school, but they canceled, so they replaced it with Georgia State. I still remember getting off the bus, and the tour they give you, the Panther preview, when you walk onto the student center, they've got the Panther right there in the center. I got that cliche feeling, that chill when you walk on the campus, and I was like, oh, I know I'm going to go to school here.
Wow.
So, so I applied, although I applied extremely late. The deadline at that time was April 12th, April 14th. I applied the day of the deadline. And found out, I know, found out the the next month that I got in. So yeah, I was definitely going to go to Georgia State no matter what.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. So I mean, I definitely, like I said, I can definitely see how things have worked well in your favor, and I definitely wish you the best of luck moving forward. Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I got another question for you. So I know you said that you talked a little bit about. Well, I got two questions. First one is you talked a little bit about just the different products to help your hair grow. So if you're currently in the state of trying to get your hair to grow, are you using these products every single day? Do you use every other day? What would you suggest for someone to do?
It depends on how you use it. So the lotion is good for skin and hair. If you use it on your hair, you can melt it down as a hot oil treatment. So then you probably only want to do it like once a week, once a month. And then I know a lot of people tend to have like their rotation of products. So you do a hot oil treatment, you do a leave-in conditioner. Every 7 to 10 days is usually really good, especially if the goal is to allow your hair to grow longer. And then with the leave-in conditioner I make, it's all oils. So there's two types of oils. There's the kind that makes your hair look shiny and pretty and kind of like a sealer. And then there's the other kind that actually gets absorbed by the hair shaft. So that's like almond oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. So I've got all these mixed together. And if you want to focus on hair growth and hair health, those are the type of oils you want. So something like that, I use in my own hair probably every 3 to 4 days, because you'll put just enough to keep your scalp moisturized, to keep your hair absorbed, and you definitely want to wrap it up. Otherwise, your pillowcase will look like you spilled a bottle of oil all over it. So satin pillowcase, head wrap, all those things are needed 100% of the time. And then it comes down to your own routine, really. Because like I said, for me, I'll put in the leave-in conditioner every 4 to 7 days. I use my own shampoo and conditioner. I wash my hair like once a week. And also depends on your hair texture. So there's so many different factors. You just kind of figure out your own routine. And that's why I set up the questionnaire that I have. Typically, if it's the first time we meet or you're doing a large order, I want to narrow it down to what you need the most and what will benefit you based on what you're trying to do with your skin and your hair.
Okay. And then my second question would be tackling dandruff, and for people who have have psoriasis on their scalp, which just causes their hair to have even more dandruff, and like the big flakes. What would you suggest for someone like that?
Definitely rosemary oil and tea tree. So tea tree helps with any sort of fungus or dryness. Lavender essential oil is also really good. Those three together would be pretty powerful, but it also depends on the extent of your psoriasis. I know sometimes it can cause like cuts and things like that. So if it's really sensitive, you may want to do the essential oils later. But coconut oil, shea butter, all that, so you can really like protect and moisturize the scalp. And those items also really help to keep dandruff at bay and to keep your hair growing and looking good as well.
Okay, all right. Well, that helps.
That's real good.
So, you're welcome.
Absolutely. So I guess for me, the next thing I wanted to ask here is, outside of social media, how else do you market your products?
I do a lot of pop-up events. That face-to-face marketing, no matter how many social media avenues we have, that face-to-face marketing is priceless. So I originally set a goal for myself this year to do one market a week. Currently not feasible, so I dialed it back. Sometimes you got to refresh your goals, to do 2 markets a week. 2 markets a month. Because last year I was doing one a month. So, you got to increase your visibility. But I did City of Ink, their 12th year anniversary off Peter Street last month. And then Roswell Roots Art History Festival for Black History Month. And then this month I've got Pancakes and Booze. And then I'll be doing the Village Market out in East Atlanta. So I'm really looking forward to those. But those, you got to have your business card when you go. I know you read a lot of articles, watch a lot of YouTube videos. The business card is dead. No, the business card is still crucial. You got to have a digital version so you can text it to someone, and a physical version so y'all can exchange back and forth. I literally have a bowl at home because I just recently started the vendor relations. So that's another way. With large festivals out in different like counties and stuff, you got to have that resource. And if you don't have a business card, people won't remember you.
Absolutely.
Well, I know that you have the word of mouth going for you as well, because I don't know if my sister wanted me to tell this, but the way that me and my mom found out about you is she was sticking her underpick in our faces, talking about smell this. So as far as the deodorant, because I know the one that she had was the no scent and everything, and you couldn't smell anything. Like, how do you go about making the deodorants?
So that's been a process. I started off with just 3 ingredients because, you know me, the least amount, the better. It was tapioca flour. People typically use like arrowroot powder for deodorant, but at the time I couldn't find it. So you got to work with what you got. And I actually like the tapioca flour better because it's finer than baking soda and coconut oil. And I realized that since there's so much more powder than oil, it was kind of gritty, or it would like clump together. So I decided to add shea butter to it, and it's wonderful now. You just get one of those little wooden spoons, or if it's your own jar, just stick your finger in there, and then you can go ahead and put it on in the morning. And you typically only need it once a day, unless, you know, you're an athlete or you're constantly working out, then maybe once a day is better. But it's funny that you told that story, because that is the story everyone tells me when they try the deodorant. My friend Joy, she was like, I went up to my husband and I just lifted my arms and I was like, honey, smell me. She's looking at me like, Joy, what? My best friend told me the same thing. And I know it's the weirdest thing, but I'm like, you know what? That is a compliment. You want someone to smell your underarms because you know you smell good.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because I honestly didn't want to do it, but she was so persistent on doing it. But
That's
yeah. But yeah, so as far as like what are all the type of products that you actually sell, and like what made you like expand to each one and everything? Cause like I know that you first started talking about like the hair products. Like, what got you into like researching for all these other products as well?
Well, I've always had a problem using deodorant. I used to break out. I would get rashes. So for a while, I just wasn't using deodorant at all. And after being able to fix my own issues with my hair, I just figured, if I can make shampoo and conditioner, I can make anything. So I just started looking up all the stuff that you can possibly make. At this point, people kept asking me, oh, do you sell it? Do you sell it? So I was like, I don't, but if I did, what would I want to start with? So I decided to do lotion because I feel like everybody uses lotion. Although at this point, I've met 4 people who tell me they've never used lotion in their life, which still throws me off. Oh, wow. But I know, blew me away. So lotion, because I figured everyone uses that. Then from there, I wanted to do a specialty product, so I decided to do scrubs. So I do sugar scrubs, salt scrubs, and then a combination of sugar salt scrubs. After that, I was kind of looking into bath products. So I did bath salts and bath bombs, and I still make all those too. And then I wanted to do something smaller, so I did lip balm. Because I figured, lotion, lip balm, everyone uses that. Then I realized the shampoo that I make, how did this even happen? I think I didn't have any soap, so I decided to use the shampoo as a body wash, and I was like, oh, this is amazing as body wash. And it also has Castile soap and apple cider vinegar in it, so it can clean your hair, clean your body, and you can also use it as a household cleaner.
Really all purpose.
Yeah, so multi-purpose, yes. From there, I wanted to get into stuff that's one, people don't like to change or try as much, so I did toothpaste. So I've got a few different types of toothpaste, activated charcoal one, which is great, and then one of my favorite remineralizing toothpaste, so it helps rebuild your enamel. If you've got any cavities, it'll help fight off any cavities. And then I make a kid-friendly toothpaste as well, that I have my 2-year-old use all the time.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness, man! He's just a whole health section in the grocery store.
Right.
Basically.
From the idea of just solving your own problems.
Mhm.
And
that's another thing. I listen. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask you about like what made you come up with the name Royalty Treatment.
That took a while. I think that and the packaging was one of the things that took me a long time before I decided to actually file and get my EIN number and everything. I wanted it to be kind of gender friendly, because I feel like when you think of hair products, skin products, it's always focused on females, but I feel like you've got skin, you've got hair, you're a human, you're going to use these products. And I wanted people to think, how are they treating themselves when they're using these products? Instead of having a whole bunch of chemicals or things you can't pronounce, you're getting natural organic oils and butters. And people always talk about Cleopatra and how she only used oils and things like that on her skin back in Egypt. And I always think of the movie with Eddie Murphy, Coming to America,
Just thinking the same thing.
and how they joked about him using juices and berries in his hair. So I was just like, royalty treatment. At first it was going to be royal treatment, but that was already taken. You have to do your due diligence before you go ahead and file for your business. So I decided to do royalty treatment. You got to treat yourself royally.
Fantastic.
I like that.
I was literally just thinking about Coming to America. Like right before you said it, I was like, juices and berries. I was like, oh, that's probably gonna be inappropriate. But then I was like, oh yes, that is too funny.
So, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to ask you, like, do you have any upcoming pop-up shops or anything that people can look for in the Atlanta area? And are you thinking about traveling outside Atlanta?
I've thought about traveling outside of Atlanta, but honestly, there's so much opportunity when it comes to pop-ups in Atlanta, and people come to events in Atlanta that I think once I have a little more time to focus solely on the business, because I still work full-time as well as do the business full-time. And then I do events and stuff once a month for like artists, painters, sketch artists, hip-hop artists, stuff like that. So I got a lot of different things going on in the background, but coming up on the 29th, I'll be doing Pancakes and Booze. That's an event that happens usually about 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh, yeah, I actually went to that when it was in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got them all over the place. They do like 70 of them in different states throughout the year. This one will be at the Georgia Freight Depot right downtown Atlanta on the 29th. That's a Friday. And then the very next day on the 30th, I'll be doing the Village Market. They usually do a few events a month, but this one is their end of the month event that they'll be doing. And then in April, I've got one with the Castleberry Hill Art Stroll. Craft Trop is constantly doing events in Atlanta, and they're the ones who did City of Ink as well last month. So I've got those lined up, and then looking for a few more for May. But a friend of mine that I met told me about this Facebook group. It's called Pop-Up Posse. So if there's anyone listening who's got a business and they're looking for events and stuff, the sole purpose of this group is to see what events are coming up all throughout Atlanta, all throughout the U.S., and it's different types of makers, handcrafted products, and all people do in there is talk about upcoming pop-up shops. So if you're looking for something, you'll find it in there.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Now, my question, and I got my next question for you is, do you have any new products coming out or any new products that are in the works that you might be coming out with in the next couple of months?
Yes, there's two. So I've got a tattoo balm. I experimented on myself first, of course. I've got one, two, three. I got 4 tattoos. So the last one I got was last year in March. So I went ahead and used that on the ones on my wrist. And they healed. They're healthy. They're good. Skin is looking marvelous. And then I've been working on a facial serum for a while. Now, this is tough. Dealing with the face is tough. Like, I thought hair and skin was hard, but the face is so different. Like, something could be going on with your cheek that's not going on with your forehead, that's not going on with your nose. So you really got to figure out, because I'm sure you've noticed I try to do all my products as multi-purpose as possible, but the face one has to be really specific. So I've been working on that one now for like 8 or 9 months. So I'm not sure. I don't have a timetable for that one. But the tattoo balm is ready. I'm actually working on logo as we speak, because I literally make everything. I made my logo for the brand. I picked out the packaging, only do glass and metal, although the lip balm right now is in the little plastic containers. I'll be switching to glass soon. Trying to be environmentally friendly with my stuff as well.
Okay. And that makes sense, the tattoo balm, because I know a lot of people, when they get tattoos, it tends to, I guess, bubble up on some people. So I guess the balm will kind of keep it smooth and kind of, like you said, the skin looking healthy. So that makes perfect sense to me. I wanted to ask, how often or where can I find the toothpaste?
Oh, the toothpaste. So the toothpaste is made to order.
Okay.
I have about 4 of the products that I make listed on Etsy. But on my Instagram, which is _royalty treatment _ excuse me, you'll see everything up there. I've got videos posted of me working, prepping for the next events I have coming up. And then you can contact me there. And then my email is royaltreatment18@gmail.com. So I schedule consultations. You can contact me so we can work on custom orders or any gift baskets that you want to give. Or I've even done stuff for bridal showers, and, possibilities are endless. But that's how you can reach out to me and order anything. And then I can also make the list of products available, because it's pretty much anything you would find in the bathroom, from toothpaste to conditioner.
Gotcha.
But, people like to be unique. Everyone has their own thing that they're focusing on or that they need to do to get their skin and hair in the right place. So while I do have the standard lotion, the standard conditioner, I'm always looking to specialize for each person.
Got it.
So what are your general prices for some of your products?
So if you're doing lotion, it's $15 for 4 ounces, $28 for 8 ounces, and some 4 ounces will last you about 2 months. Because you only need a little bit. When I go to different events, I'll have samples out. And people will get, typically you'll pump the lotion 2-3 times. Make sure you get your hands really good. I tell people dime size or smaller, and they'll get more. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm not being stingy, but you're going to have so much left over. You're going to give some to your friend. You're going to have to hit your neck. You're going to go all the way up to your elbow. Like, it's a lot, I promise.
Absolutely. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm going to have to put an order, because I definitely need some. I want to try a different toothpaste. Somebody actually just started talking about fluoride and how it wasn't good really for our teeth, and I was like, well, it's one thing to tell us that it's bad, but it's another thing to give us something that we can actually use to replace it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be interested in trying the toothpaste as well as some kind of conditioner for this hair. It's definitely dry. So
Most definitely, you can exchange information and make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. We definitely gonna have to keep in contact with you, because I'm gonna need something for my hair as well. So.
other questions before we let her go?
I guess I'm curious. I'm always interested. I know you mentioned accounting when you were younger, but what was your dream job when you were a kid? Like, what was it that you were looking to be when you were a child?
I think, so when I was really, really little, probably like 6 or 7, I had this tape recorder. Yeah, I know. It was a tape recorder. I remember the speaker was yellow, the microphone was like red and blue, and the handle was blue. And you could hit play and record to record yourself. So I pretended I was the best singer in the world. I would sing everything. And then I'd play the tape back, rewind it, listen to myself. So I wanted to be a singer. And then as I got older and was just reading all the time, I always wanted to either be an author or like a book critic. Because I felt like at 10 years old, I've read so many books. I can tell people if they're a good writer or not. I can do it all. But I actually did publish a poetry book in 2015 because I've been writing since I was 17. And I'm 30 now. So I decided to publish it. I never focused on writing as a career, but I've performed and done spoken word. So I decided to compile a bunch of poems, about 25, into kind of a story of a relationship from the beginning to an end and how relationships are cyclical, and just publish that. So I perform every now and then with my poetry.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what type of poetry do you write, or what's your favorite type of poetry to write?
I typically write prose, so it's more of like a story as opposed to when people think of poetry, they're like, oh, it has to rhyme, or there's some sort of like tempo or something to it. But mine's more of like a telling a story, an emotional story. Bio is emotional poetry. I'm gonna make you feel it. I'm gonna give you you're gonna go back in time to some situation where you felt like that. It may be totally different from mine, but emotions are universal. So.
See, now I kind of want to hear a little something when you said it. Can we get a little piece of something?
Okay, I'll give you one. It's a short one. It's like 2 minutes. I just performed this one for high school last Saturday. It's called Downside Up. They tell us to fit in, to blend in with the crowd. But there's a voice in the stall yelling from inside, and while pride is a sin, I still think about it and grin as possibilities run through my mind like a slideshow. Oh, the places we'll go, so far from the places we've been. I'm so tired of the commonplace and so tired of the common man. I want splendor and glory where moments become stories, the kind you tell your grandchildren. They touch the fit blend in with the crowd. All the while of shouting out loud, feeling trapped between choices of one or the other. I want my options to be endless and my decisions unbound. Like the imagination of a 5-year-old child, I want the freedom to sing like every day comes straight out of Broadway. Freelancing for Vanity Fair, I want to skydive, feeling the never-ending freedom in the shifting air. No more stiff commands from the powers that govern, for they are not the powers that be. The powers that govern implore us to concede. They challenge us to blend in with the crowd. How long can we allow their mechanics to make us move and bow? I say, shoot the repairman right in the brow. Create your own user manual. Nothing telling you how. Simply an answer to the question, why? Why were you brought to life? Surely not to live in this governed strife. How hard it is to blend in as we breathe in light and dark, frightened by choices that should make us feel bright, light up with wonder and delight. And since ignorance is bliss, I'd like to be ignorant of this stress as I'm pressed to be a girl society would bless. If I couldn't fit in, would you think of me less? Would I be less than if I told you take flight? If I taught you to ask questions like, what is life? Would you think of me less if I told you I was right? That a woman in this world is overshadowed by girls as they receive praise most would only give the brave? How can I compete with that? Society's mind is saturated with fat as we are force-fed straight from a box only to be thrown into one. Demoted from woman to girl, I implore you, how can we fix this world? When the majestic are ridiculed, where do we draw the line? Like George Orwell warned, Big Brother is watching all the time. Surrounding the strong, shepherding the weak. Here we are, down on our knees, stuck somewhere in between success and defeat. We are the image of one, as I realized, the individual is me.
That's dope.
Okay.
What's the name of the poetry book? I kind of figure, what's the name of the book?
It's called It Is Now Yesterday's Tomorrow. Hello Today.
It is now yesterday's tomorrow. Hello today. Why? What made you name it that?
So if you break it down, saying yesterday's tomorrow is basically calling it today.
Right.
So I try to do a lot of like wordplay with my stuff.
Again,
Yeah.
you know, the irony of this, I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. From accounting to sociology, I used to write poetry. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. And I used to perform. I actually performed in Brooklyn once, and I mean, I had more rhyme to it, but I'm telling you, like, this whole thing, it's like something about it that's just like, wow, I'm supposed to be right here in this interview for all of this. But that's fantastic. I'm definitely going to check out that book.
If Troy wasn't married, I would have thought you found your soulmate.
Coming to a theater near you. It's soulmate. You know, but yeah, I'm just sitting there like, wow.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all can actually find me on Instagram for my poetry and performances at epitome of and then the number 1.
Hold on. Let me. I'm about to pull that up real fast.
And could you before we let you leave, could you give out all your social medias and your website once again so people can get in contact with you and keep up with you with your new products and everything, and how they can order your products?
So on Facebook, it's Royalty Treatment. You just type that in the search and you'll see it pop up. Logo's yellow, words are black, you can't miss it. If you go to Etsy, you can type in Royalty Treatment in the search bar as one word. And then on Instagram, it's _Royalty Treatment _.
Okay. And like I said, I do appreciate you coming on the show and educating us on a whole lot of stuff and everything. We do need organic stuff, especially for our skins and everything, hair and everything, because like they put a lot of chemicals in these products. And I think it was like I'm trying to remember how long ago I interviewed with somebody that had the I forgot the disease. Stephen Johnson, I think it's Stephen Johnson something, but she got it because she had basically used the wrong type of product, and it was a bad reaction with her skin and everything. And from what I read during that interview and everything, a lot of people get that because of that bad reaction to product chemicals and everything in these products that we use for our bodies. So yeah, it's real good that you were able to find something that you were just discovering for yourself, and now you were able to help the community with this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad. That's it's kind of crazy how life works, especially because, it wasn't something I planned. When I was 7, I wanted to be a singer. Look at me now.
Right. That's why I like to ask that question, because it's like, that within itself is really a story to tell. Like, a lot of people feel like they don't live, exciting lives, but when you think about where you've come from, it's like, wow, like, how did I even get here? Like from wanting to be a singer to, wanting to be an accountant. I'm sure there were some things in between to now basically being a modern day, Carol's daughter almost, so to speak,
right,
out of an idea of, well, let me simply fix my own issues.
Oh, Nah, now I remember a question that I wanted to ask you before I let you go. Have you ever thought about like, cause like I forgot the woman's name. I had an article earlier. Have you ever thought of like going to like a Shark Tank to see if you could get your product and like nationwide and stuff in stores?
Yes. So I kind of, when I first started, I did that on my own. So if you've been to Atlanta, you know, Little Five Points, Peter Street, things like that, I went to different shops to see if they would hold my products. There's one store that if you already have barcodes or UPC codes, because that for me was a deterrent. So that's why I sell it online and in person. Because getting barcodes, especially for the amount of products that I have, can be really expensive. So what I did was Beehive, they allow you to rent space, and then if you work in the store, then you can rent out the space for less. So something like that, if you can find something like that in your city, that'd be really, really awesome, because that gives you face-to-face in a storefront, and you don't have to pay for that store, just space in the store, you know?
Okay. Well, if you ever do take that trip to Shark Tank and everything, let us know. We'll make sure to tune in, and hopefully they pick up your product and everything.
From what I'm sorry,
yeah, I definitely will.
Hearing, they better pick up the product. And look, if they give you any problems, hit them with some of that poetry.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, we thank you for coming on and everything, and just educating us on everything. I do appreciate you taking time to speak with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. And as I grow and I do more, I'd love to come back and share with you guys what I have going on.
No doubt. Yeah, just contact us. We'll love to have you back on the show and everything.
I definitely will. Thank you guys. It was great to meet you. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, yes. Anytime you come up to North Carolina, if we happen to make a trip down to Atlanta, we'll definitely let you know. Or like I said, you come up here, let us know.
Okay, I definitely will.
All right, so we're about to go into a music break right quick, and then we can come back and talk about current events and everything. I believe Joy and Linnell is supposed to be calling in as well to be joining us. First track that I'm about to play is Brittany Camille with Love Won't Leave Me Alone. This is Brittany Camille with Love Won't Leave Me Alone. All right?
Yeah.
Change my heart's disposition. Used to say what's love got to do with it. Was falling apart, but you became the glue to my heart. Now I'm feeling like this is it, and I don't even have to think about it. As we grow closer, I see our future. If we're gonna be forever, I better get myself together. So I'm putting away my running shoes. I look for stuff with you, daylight, 'cause you make me wanna try to give my all, because love won't leave me alone. I tried to hide, I tried to run, you call me baby, now I'm done. I'm not searching, you got me, 'cause your love won't leave me alone. So sexy, so persistent, ooh, you never gave up and let me keep you from showing me all that you are. There's something in your kiss and hug, lethal baby, drives me crazy. I can see myself having you, baby. I'm just saying it's serious. All I ever think about is us. Every other night I get good love. Oh, and it's so amazing. You're a dream come true that never want to end. You're my new beginning while I'm smiling, and it's so exciting, 'cause love won't leave me alone. I try words never come to
a voice.
life. Saying
you
you
sit
love me
there,
and that you'll do
it might be the middle of the night,
but I
and
need
then
no
you be
love
like,
tonight.
what?
I don't have the time.
I just have BlackBerry, type it out real quick, or whatever. But now it's
Gave all I had, 'cause I was all together. You gave me less. Ooh, and I was all in for you. Can't pull me back. I'm so good without you. You gave me less. Ooh, and I was all in for you.
I wrote,
Can't really go.
a couple of years.
I'm so good.
It's once in a while.
I'm good without you.
I might get an inkling.
Can't really go. I'm good without you. I'm good without you. I tried, gave you more than enough. I deserve better for my life. So this time I'm gonna say goodbye. No need to wonder why. And I gave my all for this, but you didn't give like that. And now it's all over, and I can't wait no longer for you. I don't have the
Fortunately, they
time
fixed it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
for another cry.
Stop the argument.
No, I don't have the time for another lie. Gave all I had. You gave me less.
My mother-in-law that wanted me to release my poetry.
You gave me less. I'm falling for you.
Get back into it.
From like 2006
Yeah.
to like, 2012-ish. So it was like, there was poems on my phone, there was poems on my email, there was poems I had posted online, there was poems everywhere. So it was just like,
See my daddy throw my dad with so much down. And you know my brother told me this niggas ain't about shit. Now I be worrying and stressing myself out. 'Cause I never learned to trust. Therefore I do not know loud. But I know I can't give up. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm thinking you're wrong when you home? What if you really just letting me on? What if I'm right? What if I'm wrong? This thing is all on me. Gotta work to believe that I'm worth the good thing.
we would take like every letter in the alphabet, and we'd be like, well, I got A, and then we read a poem about A, and like, everybody kept going.
Just think of the best. But if you do something you everything that I said to you is really true, it's really true. What if everything that he says is right? What if everything that he says to you is not a lie?
Time, girl, again, I got to prove who I am. See, I know I'm far from perfect, but the reason why you work, you don't care what's on the surface, just as long as I don't hurt you. If you wondering why, if you need to reply, it's you one of a kind. I know it seems like a lie, but baby, it ain't a lie. I can find another you, why would I look? I'm sure when God made you, he broke the foot. Ain't no way to dance me, baby, girl, you know you drive me crazy. No, I need you, my baby. Well, you know you never say you ain't no way to dance me, baby, girl, you know you drive me crazy. Girl, I need you, my baby. One and only, never say you.
What if your dude's not playing you? What if everything that he says to you is really true?
It's okay.
What if everything that he says is right? What if everything that he says to you is not a lie?
I could even give you the music video concept of the song. But I couldn't get no verse. Couldn't get no verses out of it. remember like I had a song
What if your dude's not playing you? What if everything that he says to you is really true? What if everything that he says is right? What if everything that he says to you is not a lie? What if,
We're back. Yeah, if we didn't have my co-host here, I might have zoned out right there. Like I just played a good set of music right there.
It's good too.
Yeah,
it was a good song. You could have kept going, man.
I might have kept on going and everything. Like I was just in a zone right there. But first track was Brittany Camille with "Love Won't Leave Me Alone." Second track was Paula Campbell with "Good Without You." If y'all go back a couple weeks ago, we did interview Paula Campbell. Good, very excellent interview. Third track was Elisa 5000 with "What If." I gotta bring her on the show. I was supposed to have her on the show a couple of months ago and had to reschedule, but we never actually officially rescheduled. But I definitely gotta bring her on the show and everything she's been doing.
Let's get her on the show then.
Come on down.
But I wanted to start off with something positive because like it just seemed like the same stuff is circulating through the news. So I wanted to talk about something positive. Well, at first it started off negative, and then like it becomes positive and everything. But yeah, so Jay-Z just been like I always say, I respect him as a businessman and stuff like that, and he definitely seemed like he is for the people and for justice and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think this is not the original one, I think, because like I know that there's another little boy that actually got arrested. I think he was, I forgot what the story was, but this other
about the rapper.
Yeah.
21 Savage,
yeah.
No, not 21.
No, it's not. This little boy.
There was a little boy.
He was trying to sell his mixtape and everything. And so when I heard that he got the guy off, he got this kid off, I thought that was the one. But it seemed like another kid, this sixth grader, refused to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and they actually arrested him. Sent him to juvenile detention, charged him with disruption in the school function and resisting arrest without violence and stuff like that. And Rock Nation stepped in, got the charges dropped and everything.
Right.
How do y'all feel about what Rock Nation has been doing and everything? The fact and like honestly, like if I had the money, that's exactly because like even though like I'm on a small scale, like I try to help people out and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just seeing that Jay-Z is at the level that he is, and like I always like the fact that everybody that he came in with, except for like I think Dame Dash and everything, he makes sure that they have some type of job in Rock Nation. Like he brings everybody. He kept
Jules.
No, not Jules. Memphis Bleak and everything. Like he said, he will always have Memphis Bleak back and everything. Memphis Bleak got his own alcohol now, podcast and stuff like that.
I didn't know he had his own alcohol.
Yeah, it's Duce.
That's Bleak?
Yeah, that's Bleak.
Duce is Bleak?
Yeah.
That's dope.
I didn't know that.
It's dope though.
So like he makes sure that everybody around him is good, and then like when he sees injustice, he's like one of the first people. Did I text her?
Well, I mean, I guess the one thing to keep in mind, I guess, is that, and I was just kind of having this conversation with my co-host, Professor John Gotti, of course. It's the way to live. It's like you make so much money, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, kind of like, staying on the same of good news, like Jaden Smith, trying to get water in Flint.
Oh, yeah.
That's
his little company.
That's major, you know what I mean? Of course, he might pocket something from it, but I think he's working with the churches to get water in Flint. So it's like when you make a certain amount of money, it's almost like I mean, the only way to live, it really should be to give back and serve, you know.
Yeah.
Which, you know, from what I've always read, it's like once you start providing a service, you know, that's really when you start reaping all the benefits and all the rewards from everything that you've done. So it's like he can make money back at any point. Like Jay-Z could walk into any place and make money for these ventures. So it's like, oh, this kid needs legal counsel. Oh, I could just walk into the Prudential Center, or I can walk into Barclays right now and just make an appearance for that amount of money.
But the thing about what they did for the boy, and I read this and I thought this was something great, was they took his case on pro bono. Like, pro bono, got this kid off, and like you said, I feel like that's like, for one, it's inspirational.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, I mean, Jay-Z makes so much money.
Money on top of money.
And it's like, you know, like you said, I mean, if you're making so much money and you're able to live your life and your life not be affected in a negative way, why not help out people who are less fortunate? Why not do these things, like having a legal team when they did go help 21 Savage with the immigration thing?
Right.
Like, why not do these things for people who can't? Not to say that, I mean, we don't know if 21 Savage could have, you know, funded his own lawyer team. We don't know that. But the point that Jay-Z did it was because, okay, that was unfair.
Right.
You know, and it was just like, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs to 21 Savage's story, but I know that he did try to reapply for a visa to be here.
Right.
I think it was like last year or 2017, because I think it was 2017, I believe, or 2016, where he did reapply to get it, and it's just like all of a sudden now here come I just want to come up and be like, oh, guess what, we here, come on.
Right. But I mean,
the crazy thing about that situation too is that they said they've been looking for him. This man been on tour.
Right.
This man been all over the radio, all over TV.
You know exactly where he gonna be.
Here's this man's tour schedule.
Like, I was sitting there like, nah, this can't be real.
But there was something else to that, though, because they were saying that it really wasn't until his lyrics started to change that they really, really were looking for him. So when he was talking all that nonsense before about having money and shooting and all this other stuff, it was like, oh, yeah, it's 21, you know, let him do his thing. But now it's like, oh, okay, he's starting to rap a little positive. I think his visa's up. We really need to find
But I think I heard they said that he had said something about not being born here, and that was when they were just like you said, okay, he started to be positive. He really started to make some money. Oh, did this man say he wasn't born here? Hey, yo, check his papers.
I think he's got to go.
Time to go get us. Look, and let's say it like the white people say. Time to go get us a nigga.
Right. I mean, ultimately, yeah. But in this particular situation, also, I mean, when you look at this particular kid, it's like he didn't expect this. He's just like, I didn't feel like standing up. Like, what's the big deal here?
Right, yeah, he said, I'm not supporting a flag that's racist.
Right.
I'm not supporting something that doesn't do black people any justice.
Right.
And I mean, and then apparently from the story, he got in an argument with a substitute teacher at that. Not even the teacher in his class, a substitute teacher.
Oh, not the substitute.
Which I subbed for a year, so I kind of took offense to that. I was like, wait a minute. As a substitute teacher, I'm not going to get into that.
Sure.
But as a substitute teacher, why are you arguing with? I mean, he's just a sixth grader. If he says that, look, I don't want to support a flag that I feel is racist towards black people, and it doesn't really stand for us, and whatever. First of all, he's not hurting anybody.
Good for you. That's exactly what I would have said.
Exactly. Good for you. Stick up for what you believe in. I'm happy. Everybody else, you got to stand up. If you don't want to, hey, you're not killing nobody. You're not hurting nobody. You're not being disrespectful to me or anybody else in the class.
And in the substitute training, I mean, they tell you really want to try and relate to the kids. I mean, what better way to relate to a kid than to be like, to inspire and empower them? Like, man, you don't feel like,
and get this,
that's good for you.
Look, they said the article says she asked him. She said, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "They brought us here." And she said, "Well, why don't you leave?"
See, that's not cool.
And I was like, whoa. And then the thing about it is she came out after that was like, well, I'm from Cuba and I'm here. And if I feel like I'm not wanted here, then I'll leave. Wait a minute. If you're from another country too, so you should definitely understand why he is saying what he is saying.
And what he said and what you said are two different things. He said we were brought here. You came here. You might have been brought here with your family, but your family came here potentially voluntarily. You know what I mean? Depending on their situation. We don't know their situation, but at the same time, she could have went back home as well if she really chose to. But also, I just think that there comes a point where it's like telling people to go and leave can't always be the answer.
Yeah.
Like, that can't always be the answer. Don't tell people to leave. Like, think about it like this. And I've always said this, and this might be controversial, but if black people left America, we would be probably the most dominant country ever in everything. They would come right behind us and follow us. Think about the food, the dancing, the music. We would have all the best athletes. LeBron James, they're going to follow LeBron. Bruno, you know that part of Bruno that people really don't probably like. Bruno's black. He's coming with us. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like all these people that people like.
But y'all can keep Stacey Dash.
Right. That's okay. But you think about it. They're coming. Like if we all say, all right, we're gonna. You know what? You're right. We're all just gonna go back to Africa, right? Right, Africa or wherever.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, dang. I mean, what are we supposed to do now?
We done told them to go, and then they all finally left.
You know what I mean? Like, and it would be great if somebody made a show like that. I would love that. Like, if somebody made a show where literally black people just left. Like, I mean,
hey, we're copywriting this. This idea.
See, think about it. Just like, and I think there was a comedian who talked about that. It might have been Trevor Noah, who was like, how they tell like Mexicans to leave, and it's like, well, I think when they tell somebody to leave, they should take all their cuisine with them. So it's like, you can't go to Taco Bell anymore, or you can't have, burritos and all these things anymore. Like, there's no Cinco de Mayo for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people think about it when they're telling people to leave. It's like, it's more than just that person. It's like, you're basically saying, I'm not here, and we help build all of this.
Yeah.
To a point where there's not even an amount of money that you might be able to even pay us to leave because we built this.
And I definitely agree with that. I feel like you said, like when you tell people to leave, okay, if we leave, how about we take everything that we created?
Right.
Okay, we take everything, and then you guys, y'all figure it out. Right. Because a lot of the stuff that y'all have came from we created it. We made it. We did this. I mean, sports, basketball, football, majority dominated by African Americans. And that's even in the WNBA, majority dominated by African Americans.
Oh wait, I might have changed the speaker thing.
And once he gets that up, and it's just like, think about it like this: if we were never brought here, how would y'all be right now?
Hello?
Like, what would y'all have?
I have no idea.
Hey, I'm here.
I don't know.
Cause it's like all the stuff that we've created. If we were never here, like what would it be like?
Again, another show, another movie that might be dope to see.
Joey, we were talking about the sixth grader that got sent to juvenile detention because he refused to stand for the national anthem, and how Jay-Z and the Rock Nation helped him beat his charge and everything.
So Jay-Z spoke for him, and they just removed his suspension.
No, it wasn't Jay-Z. It was the boy was in juvenile detention, and Rock Nation sent a team of lawyers to take care of his case, and the lawyers got all the charges dropped off of him.
Oh, okay. So I just want to make sure I understand. So the guy was in juvenile just because he wouldn't stand up for the national anthem, and Jay-Z got involved, and his lawyers got him out of detention.
Well, it was the Pledge of Allegiance. It wasn't the national anthem, but it was the Pledge
whatever. Well, one of the flag, whatever thing you stand for.
He didn't want to stand for it because he believes that the flag is racist to African Americans, and he doesn't believe in what the flag stands for because it's basically, again, racist to African Americans.
Look, he doesn't have to stand for it if he doesn't want to, but Jay-Z getting involved is a little dramatic. Of all the things Jay-Z can be doing, he get his lawyers to go there to get a kid out of detention.
Well, I think you're missing when we said that he went to jail. It's not school detention.
Oh, I thought, okay. I keep thinking, I don't know why I'm hearing detention. I keep forgetting you're saying juvenile. Okay. I'm thinking about, I don't know why detention keeps coming up. All right. So Jay-Z just, y'all don't mess with me today. I'm a little sleepy.
Went to the boys' high school and got him out of detention.
Get that boy out of detention. 15 minutes.
Hey, I said I'm a little sleepy. Don't mess with me. All right, so Jay-Z didn't get him out of detention. He got him out of juvenile.
Yes.
Okay, juvie. Okay, so y'all asking what I think about that?
Yes.
Yeah, because one of the things that I was mentioning is because like it seemed like when there's ever injustice, Jay-Z and Rock Nation is like usually the first. Cause like there's another case, like I don't know what the update on it, but this little kid was basically in the mall selling his mixtapes, and they had arrested him for that as well. And Jay-Z is stepping in for that as well. But it's because like he has helped a whole lot of people basically get out of these injustice situation. So I was commending him on that because like that's something that if I get that up to that status and everything, that's what I would like to do. Because like even on this small scale, I try to help people out in their situation, get their business out and everything. That's one thing that I really commend Jay-Z on, is that anybody around him, like, he makes sure that they are well off as well. He didn't just try to get rich himself. He made sure that everybody on his team has some space in Rock Nation. Anybody that goes to jail or he feels like it's injustice, like the whole Meek Mill situation, the whole 21 Savage situation. I believe there was another something that he did. Yeah, he actually helped Lil Wayne, and like the whole thing with Lil Wayne, the whole situation is that they had beef in the past, and for the fact that for him to step up and he saw this injustice for Lil Wayne, he stepped up and he was like, "Yo, I'm going to help you with this case and stuff like that." So he makes sure that he's helping out his community and making sure that everybody is in good. Yeah, except for Dame Dash.
Which we don't know. I mean, he might still slide Dame a few dollars. He might.
Hey, Dame, here's $5.
He might
go to McDonald's.
He might slide Dame some dollars.
But yeah, I'm just noticing like every time something happened, Jay-Z's on the front line. Like you can't say that he doesn't care about his community and stuff like that. Okay. And then I believe Troy actually also was talking about, because like we talked about this a couple weeks ago about the wall, and they haven't done anything about the water in Flint, Michigan. Right. And look at Jaden Smith.
Right. A simple filtration system.
How old
Wait, what happened with Jaden? What happened with Jaden Smith?
Like he's supplying water to Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, he has.
How old is he?
I think he's in his 20s.
I don't know, 12.
I think he's in his early 20s. Yeah.
Early 20s, and like Trump is worried about a wall, which is not going to stop what he's talking about is happening, because that happened through other access of the country. And we I understand that was under Obama's administration as well, and Obama didn't get it fixed. But the fact that he's trying to get all this money for this wall, and that has not been resolved,
that make no sense.
And you have Jaden Smith.
And all Jaden did,
Brian, he's trying to get your people out of here, Brian.
Oh
Lord. You about to be the first one to go then.
You said what?
I said you about to be the first one to go then.
Those are your people. You the one grew up and thought you were Hispanic.
I don't know about all that now.
Hey, I heard the story, Brian. But yeah, Donald Wait, what? I thought somebody said something.
See, that's that sleep talking. You need to just go ahead and go to sleep.
I can't go to sleep.
Nah, you probably.
But yeah. What you say, Brian?
Go ahead now. Say what you're saying.
I thought you were talking some junk. I wanted to hear it. All right, but yeah, I don't know why Donald Trump is messing with that wall. As I said before, you got 999 million Hispanic people over here. They ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And even if you do build a wall, they're going to find a way to get back over here some other way, like credit cards. You're going to find a way to get back over here. So I just feel like he's just wasting time. I did agree with Darnell that I think it was something Donald Trump had to promise somebody or something, because he's like really, really, really desperate for that wall for no reason.
I really feel like he has a stake in the concrete that they're gonna use, like he to build the wall. That's what I'm thinking. He must have some kind of he must have made some kind of deal for that concrete company or something like that. Like, hey, like when I become president, we're gonna build this wall. And we're going to make the biggest deal ever of concrete. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
Because another thing that they actually said, because I believe that they originally approved it, and then he asked for more money.
Yeah.
So why did he ask for more money? Like, when it seemed like his original amount, they were like, okay, we'll give you that amount, and then he upped the amount.
Because it's going to himself.
He must got some ideas for the remainder of the funds.
Another check to myself.
For myself, yeah, it has to be. That's the only thing I can think of, especially at a time you do a government shutdown, and it's like during a time where everybody's like, he needs to be impeached. Like, well, let's shut the government down so that they can't even.
Is it still shut? I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead.
You're fine. No, they're not shut down anymore.
They're not? Okay.
And I think that's when he came back and asked for more money after they came to an initial agreement to end the shutdown. But, yeah, I think it's a money grab. It got to be a money grab.
It's got to be. He got to have some plans to do something with the extra funds.
And the craziest
if you get it approved for that wall and you still want more money,
and the crazy thing
he got something else going on.
Who's going to build this wall?
Who's going to take time out of their
They'll
day?
probably get the Hispanic people to build it.
Well, he said that they were supposed to pay for it.
Right. That's
and Mexico said, no.
We're not paying for no wall. Why would we pay
But
for
the issue with
why
why would the Mexicans even care?
And the thing about Mexico is that, and I had learned this last month during a class, is that we actually took land from Mexico, so they're probably like double, like, well, no, we're not gonna. Not only did you steal land from us, but now you're trying to block us off from land that you previously stole.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole bunch of treaties and whatnot that probably say that they can't really do that. So ultimately, he's probably doing something illegal that he doesn't even know that it's illegal, and that's probably what the real problem is that there's something else going on
it's probably unethical too when you look at all of the Constitution and all of these things that we have in place that states that says you can come to America to escape poverty, to escape whatever you're going through, wherever you're at. Welcome to America, the land of the free, the land of the melting pot. Exactly.
Golden streets and all that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like when they had was doing the whole people from Middle Eastern couldn't come into the country and all this stuff back with the air. It's the same thing. It's like, how are you gonna do that to people?
Same story, different narrative. It's like every single couple of years they just change the nationality.
Yeah, it's like you want to attack like a whole group of people because there's a group within that group of people. There's a portion within that group of people that are the bad apples, but you want to attack everybody.
And it might not even be those people. It might. Let me tell you, makeup is one heck of a thing, man. Anybody can look like anything these days. I mean, you grow out your hair and you throw on some makeup. I mean, forget about it.
Grow out your hair, man. As many mixed kids as I see.
Right, exactly.
I mistake mixed kids for Hispanic. So, but anyway, So I got a question. I just want to make sure I understand. So the governor from Mexico is paying for the wall. Who's paying for the wall again?
I think that was the initial plan. Was that he was telling during his campaign that Mexico was going to pay for it.
Yeah, he was going to make them pay for it.
He was going to make them pay for it.
Yeah, but the last thing I heard, I think it was maybe 2 months ago, that the Mexican governor declined to do it because I don't think he cares about that wall. I think I read somewhere where he refused to build a wall. I mean, something new could have happened between then and now.
I think Trump is the only one that wants the wall. I don't really know why we need to. I don't even know how we could have spent so many years talking about this wall. Like, I don't even know.
To tell you the truth, it seems like because Mexico, like you said, Mexico, they're not paying for it. They came out and said we're not paying for it. And it's like you said, why would we pay for a wall to keep us out of there? Like, that makes no sense.
Right. I want to go to America.
Exactly. So why would I build a wall to keep me from going if I want to go?
And then here we are. We want to go to Mexico.
Yeah, I feel like if I was a Mexican governor, I would want them to stay in America.
Yeah, I mean,
because if they got like a third world country, you can help that by sending them all to America.
If that's the case, yeah.
So I'll be like, forget that wall.
American greedy people out of my country. No more Cancun. No more all these wonderful, beautiful places in Mexico that are safe for American people to go when they stay on the resort.
Stay on the resort, right? Because that's the whole thing, staying on the resort. Ain't nobody staying on the resort.
Because as soon as you venture off, you might run into the cartel.
Let me tell you, man. I mean, we done veered off a whole bunch of places, but I don't know. I just don't see how this wall is going to go down. That's a lot of wall. Like, that's a lot of concrete. That's a lot of. It's going to take. That must be how he's going to try to get reelected. That's the only way.
I swear, if people put him back into the office off of the fact that he's going to tell them, I'm going to get this wall built, America needs to just, like, the people in America just...
Because think about it. It's going to be like, listen, we got 4 more years. I mean, it takes 8 years to build a wall.
I swear,
what is that voice you're doing?
Off of that campaign, everybody, if you tell me you voted for him, I'm slapping you. Like, are you serious?
I'm telling you, you're gonna be sitting there. It's gonna take me 4 more years to build this wall. I mean, the wall is gonna probably take about 10 years. Like, he's probably gonna call this wall like the Great Wall of Trump or something like that. I mean, because this wall is gonna take a very long time to build.
No, the thing about it is, even if, let's say, God forbid, he gets reelected, this wall starts.
Right.
The next president that comes in has completely different ideals, and decides to just destroy the wall. And all of that money has been wasted. Yeah. All of it. Because they come in and say, you know what? It's unethical. It's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. This, and this. Because if you're going to build a wall to keep the people of Mexico out of the United States, then what are you going to do about the people flying into the United States that are just as bad? What are you going to do about people who are sneaking on cruise ships and boats and coming in? Like, how are you gonna defend that?
And my thing is like, from everything I know about cartels, mobsters, gangsters,
there you go.
Most of them have money to where they could easily just get their visas or whatever they need to get, fly over, still conduct business. But honestly, I mean, it's so much more than just like, oh, hey, the narrative of Mexican people are cartel rapists, drug dealers. Like, that's so
cop killers.
That's so dumb. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, and that's what I always tell people. Like, I've been so blessed to know different individuals so that I'm not judging based on something that I've heard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging every black person based on what I see on TV, but the black people that I meet. Yeah. White, Spanish, Indian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm judging people based on the people that I've met. Yeah. Police, officers, like, it's all the same thing. So I don't know how people are so ignorant that it's like all people are like that. That's dumb.
It's just like you said.
Because media controls the society.
And it's pure ignorance. That's easily what it is.
People need to think for themselves.
They don't do that. It's 2019.
That's
don't nobody think for themselves.
That's ridiculous. I think I read a post about something like that earlier. I think the girl said I was in the room. I kept saying Siri and I meant to say Alexa, and then I had to think to myself. I never thought I would be mistaking one robot voice for another robot voice in the future. And it's like, come on, like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. People need to do things and think for themselves. It's unbelievable.
And I mean, but like I said, I mean, it's pure ignorance for you to sit here and say because this one person within this group of people did this one heinous act that everybody in that group of people is just like that one person.
Except for one group that never gets blamed for the things that their people have done.
Oh my goodness.
But we're not going to do that. We're not
people riot, jumping on cars, flipping cars over. They're just upset because their baseball team lost.
We're not going to do that.
Another group of people goes and does the same thing. Oh, they're all hoodlums. They're all gangsters. They're all killers, thugs. They all deserve to go to jail.
We're not doing this.
You know, but I'll say that, man. Look, you know, I love all people. I love everyone. I have no problem with anybody. But at the same time, I know that I open up my mouth and I say a lot of stuff that people don't like. And, you know, it's just like you said, it's like, you know, you see this happen all the time. You know, a group of white people, and then most of it would be white males. Like I said, they will go out and riot and nothing will happen. It'll be some reason why it was okay for them to do that. But then if you turn around and it was a group of black males that went out and did it, let the cops get there, they shooting, cops are shooting out everybody. Whoever don't die is going to jail, and they're this and they're that and they're that and they're this. And it's like, what, like really?
I feel like we all do the same thing. Because like the same stereotypes that we give white people, they give us stereotypes. And I feel like every race has a stereotype. Like the whole, I don't remember, I believe it was in Charleston, the whole march that they call, I forgot the name of it. They were calling them white superiors or something as they called them. But they were protesting in peace. But that was a racist march. But when you have black people stereotype a certain amount of white groups, which in my opinion, I said before, if you protest, you're just going to open up a war. And I feel like with the media, they're trying to keep that whole divide between white people and black people. And it's just my opinion. When you release slave movies or movies like 12 Years a Slave and stuff like that, that's kind of reminding us, hey, this is the way white people treated our people. And some black people will just go on a rant about white people, which the people in 2019 had absolutely nothing to do with. Because they're like 9 billion-year-old ancestors, but that doesn't make them racist.
Billion years,
but you make a good point, though. That's a good point.
Like the biggest thing now is, and I hate keep on bringing this up with the whole Michael Jackson.
No, you don't, Darnell. No, you don't.
But a lot of people now are saying that why aren't they attacking the Me Too movement, attacking these white people for what they were doing? But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, because of the whole Michael Jackson situation, people don't want to believe it. It whole jumps onto they trying to tear down another historic legend. But just 2 weeks ago, y'all were trying to put R. Kelly's head on a stick and still doing it. But you hear that Michael Jackson did something, all of a sudden, y'all trying to tear this man's legacy down. And then they bring up this recording of what Michael Jackson is saying about R. Kelly's doing the same thing. He's saying that he's innocent. So I kept asking people, what is the difference? You have people telling their story.
Darnell, it's a perspective, though.
Yeah, But
like R. Kelly had videotape of underage women or girls, whatever you want to call them. He actually had evidence that you did that. We still haven't seen any proof that Michael Jackson molested a kid. I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm hearing it from the alleged victims, but I haven't seen anything. R. Kelly, we've actually seen it. And even though he...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Even though R. Kelly may not be molesting people or the whole slave kidnapping girls and using them as slaves and stuff like that, he may not be doing that, but it's hard to believe him if in 1999 or whatever, you married a 15-year-old and you were also seen on tape peeing on a 14-year-old.
Okay.
So we actually have evidence.
Allegedly.
So with the people that are actually saying this about tearing down another historical black legend, couldn't we say that about the white people that there is no video evidence on? So why are they trying to make this a black and white thing now?
Well, I think
I
get what you're saying because I've seen it today, and I actually had a crazy laugh earlier because I saw one of my cousins was arguing with somebody about I think they were talking about Elvis, and they were saying that I guess his girlfriend her name slips my mind now. She was 14 when she moved in with Elvis. And then the person said, well, no, based on this, it says that she waited till she was 18. And I looked and I was like, did he just quote Wikipedia? Oh, Lord. I said, I just jumped on here just to laugh at the fact that somebody cited Wikipedia as being fact. So I just jump on here and say this, but that narrative of, hey, well, why are we not talking about, all those Catholic priests? We're not talking about, this person. Why is it always this person? Where everything, if you really think about it, it all seems like a money grab. Each and every last thing of it.
But the guys on HBO didn't get paid.
Which ones?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Well, see, the thing with them was they didn't get paid yet. Because that documentary, which I think initially when he released it, which has a backstory, I think I sent it to you, and I even had this conversation with my wife. It's like, initially, he was claiming when Michael Jackson was alive, hey, none of this stuff happened, everything was good, Mike was great. Then all of a sudden, he gets some opportunities rejected, and now all of a sudden, man, Mike showed me everything in the world. I was so innocent, and I was just eating vitamins and saying my prayers, and Michael.
So can't we say that about R. Kelly's victims? Because we have video evidence we have video evidence of his wife playing his music, happy and everything. Now she's saying he abused me.
Let me tell you what I thought about this morning. I would not be surprised, and I would hate this because I think ultimately some of the things are true and some of it are, fabrications. But we can't separate. People aren't able to separate it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that you cannot sit here and want R. Kelly's head on a stick and then ignore these other guys when the only, like you said, the only difference is video evidence. But at the same time, you saying that they lied back then.
Right.
There were people in R. Kelly lied back then too.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you, and I mentioned this 2 weeks ago when you asked me. I'm gonna tell you, people do not want to believe Michael Jackson did this. As Dave Chappelle said, and I said this 2 weeks ago, Michael Jackson made Thriller. Okay, that's it. People love Michael Jackson's music. You know what I mean? Like Dave Chappelle, I know he made the joke about R. Kelly, but he also made a joke that said it could have been digital. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that could happen. Now, my thing is, if there's video evidence of something, I would expect them to be found guilty. But he wasn't found guilty. And that's the part that always bothered me. It's like, I know that money rules everything, but there's a video evidence. You see him. That's him.
But the whole thing is that the girl that was on the video said it wasn't her.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I never seen it, so I don't know. I wouldn't want to see nobody.
I'm gonna say it like I said to you on Tuesday when we talked about it. People hold Michael Jackson to a higher standard than they hold R. Kelly. As we said earlier, there is no evidence about anything that Michael did. The only people that know what happened is Michael Jackson,
right?
Those kids, and maybe the maid.
But also,
that's it.
But also, I mean, why wait till after he passes away when now he can't defend himself?
Because
that's the part. That's the part that makes. That's the part that people kind of write it off. Also, like you waited till after Michael Jackson.
Okay, let me just do devil's advocate.
Please.
What if R. Kelly was dead?
And that was going to be my point this morning. I would not be surprised 3 to 6 months from now if we get that headline, that R. Kelly commits suicide, because they're killing him out there
from an overdose.
Probably from an overdose. That's how they like to. That's how they like to do it. Probably from an overdose or some kind of ridiculous drugs that he took or whatever.
Drinking and drugging.
And I'm gonna tell you, when that happens, it's gonna be a complete release. Everybody's gonna be, stepping in the name of love. People are gonna be bumping and grinding again. They're not gonna see anything wrong with it. It's gonna be.
Like how you just. I got that last one.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all good,
And I just want to make this clear. I'm not saying that the white people that actually did this stuff, like, it shouldn't be brought out there.
Right.
But people should not try to separate somebody's truth.
It's like I said, we are on a thin line with this Michael Jackson case right now, because you don't want to write these guys off as being money hungry, trying to get in the spotlight and this and that. You don't want to write them off, because for all we know, they are telling their truth, and it goes hand in. But see, listen, it goes hand in hand with the Me Too movement. Right. When all those women were coming out and saying that Harvey Weinstein did this and these other guys did this, for whatever, and I'm not looking at whatever the reasons why they were in the room. I'm just looking at these situations that did happen. We can't write off all of those women because we don't know if they're lying or if they're telling the truth. That's the whole. We're in a state where, and it sucks that it's this way, but we're.
But Brian, can I cut you off for a minute? Sorry. Okay, so with the R. Kelly thing, it's not the women, it's their moms, it's their mothers coming out saying R. Kelly did it.
No, not the. It is the women, because it's women from his past that he's been with that have spoke up too. His ex-wife, other girls that he was in relationships with that said he abused me. He had me locked up. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't eat. I couldn't talk to nobody. Like, if I did anything, I had to ask him first.
But there's also women claiming that their moms told them to lie to R. Kelly and say they were 18.
Yeah, that's these two young girls right now. They did an interview and they was like, "Yeah, our parents told us to lie. Our parents told us to go do this.
Our parents
told us to go." Yeah, they the ones that set all this up. Right. And now that we're old enough and we're with him and we're happy and we're not dealing with them, now they're mad.
And the other thing that a lot
they ain't getting no funds.
Right, the money stopped. That's what.
Yeah, and that's what the girls were saying. Oh, they're just trying to get money now.
And a lot of people are trying to attack Oprah. Like, this one person was like, Oprah was just trying to get ratings by interviewing those Michael Jackson. And I was like, look how rich Oprah is. Right. What she could shut down that network, and it would not put a dent in her finance.
Let me tell you though. I believe in innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
But when Gail was sitting there doing this interview, you just knew that she felt he was guilty, because you could even tell by her questioning. Yeah. She was like, "So you're saying that they're lying on you, all of them."
She's probably trying to play the victim, R. Kelly, what it sounds like.
You're trying to play the victim.
The thing about it, look, and. See, I don't want to. Like, I'm trying to stay in the middle of the situation, because, I mean, for what we know and what we don't know, it's a lot.
And it's a lot. I don't think anybody is saying that he did or didn't do anything.
Yeah,
we're just talking about.
But it's like
I think it's
when you
people are trying to
watch
separate the whole situation.
But when you watched him, it was kind of like for me because and I know you done some acting, and
Right.
I know you film stuff, so you know what acting looks like. So it's like for us watching it, I was kind of just like you. It looks like he is really putting on a show to. Hold on, let me finish. It looked like at a point, it looked like he was really putting on a show, like to overdo it. And I can understand, like he was. I mean, he's under a lot of pressure. People are attacking him. People are coming at him from every which way. And if he is telling the truth and none of this is going on, I can understand him being emotional. But it kind of came off to me that he was just a little bit too emotional at a couple points.
And another thing is that.
But Gail wasn't making it easy though, even if he.
I mean, because like Troy, she already condemned him, and you can see that. Like,
Kelly, you did.
Yeah, because Gail's supposed to be a journalist. Right. She's not even supposed to take a side. So I can get if he would get upset that you're interviewing him, basically saying, "Yep, you're guilty. I want to hear your guilty part. I want to hear you say I did this."
Yeah,
that's basically what Gail sounded like to me.
Right.
And then after the interview, after the segment with the girls, she kept on insisting that R. Kelly was in the room, making sure that they knew that he was there.
He was in the other room.
Yeah, like he kept on coughing. Like the only reason they were saying what they were saying is because he was present. That's what she was insisting on saying, is basically like they were lying because they knew his presence was there.
That's crazy.
So he just coughs like every 10 minutes.
I don't know because
I'm in the other room.
We can't hear it in the interview, but she was saying, yeah, he was over there coughing to make sure that they knew that he was there. Like, that's not professional.
I don't buy that.
Maybe he just had a cough. Like, come on.
And the thing is, and that's what I'm saying. And I will give Joy credit on this. Media does play a huge role in the way people think. And it's like, again, like we say, you can tell that Gail already condemned him in her mind. And for her to, be saying all this stuff, like you just said, oh, he was coughing and making them aware that he was there. I mean, we weren't there, so we don't know why this man was coughing. What if he was coughing because he was choking? What if,
he probably lost his voice yelling at her.
I mean, we don't know.
We
honestly don't know.
I just believe that once everything is said and done, and I'm telling you, 3 to 6 months from now, we see that headline, R. Kelly commit suicide or whatever, Chocolate Factory all day.
And like I said,
I mean, like they did with Michael Jackson,
all day.
And like I said, the
Prince
other thing,
had an overdose too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no one was saying Prince raped them and did all this stuff to them.
Not yet.
And like I said,
you said not yet.
The reason why the whole situation is so sensitive in the black community is because these were young black women.
I don't think so.
Look at the Michael Jackson situation.
That's true.
But the thing again, I still think it's perception though, because again with R. Kelly, he married a 15-year-old, and whether the girl he peed on was 14 or whatever, the media or whoever released it convinced us that the girl was 14. Right. He married a 15-year-old, so the stereotype or the perception is already there with R. Kelly. We have nothing on Michael Jackson. He didn't marry an 8-year-old. Right. We don't see anything on tape with him being with an 8-year-old. And if he wasn't, no one's saying, oh, well, Michael Jackson took that picture of that 6-year-old boy. They haven't released anything on Michael Jackson except hearsay or what these alleged victims are saying. R. Kelly has a perception.
That's what R. Kelly was saying, though, in his interview. He's saying, I had made some mistakes in my past. That could have been Aaliyah and whoever else with the girl that he peed on, which kind of still don't make no sense. But, I mean, that could have been his mistake. But then everything else moving forward, he's saying they lying. I don't know nothing about that.
So you guys don't think it would have been different if these were young black males that he was messing with?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's evidence that R. Kelly was messing around with little girls. He married a 15-year-old. That right there is in the media.
Basically,
what Donnell's saying is different, though.
Yeah.
I think if you reverse it, R. Kelly would have got killed already.
I don't think so. If you don't have proof at all.
Oh, Jesus. If those were young white girls, R. Kelly would have been in jail by now. There would have been no getting out of jail. Nothing.
But what if they were But what if they were young boys? If we switch Michael Jackson and R. Kelly, and they didn't have anything on R. Kelly with a little boy, and they have proof that Michael Jackson married Aaliyah, and that's valid proof that you are messing around with a minor, but there is no evidence R. Kelly's messing with a little boy, you think they will still say R. Kelly's guilty?
We talking about Michael Jackson right now, and I wouldn't.
No, I'm talking. No. I'm talking about if you switch their roles.
We would be. Yeah, we would be.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we would be talking about Michael Jackson.
Like Cancer was saying, people hold, and that's the messed up part about society and everything. We hold these celebrities at such a high standard.
That's true.
And I don't know why, but I do agree. Go ahead.
Because of everything that they have done.
But they really haven't done anything for us. They've just made music, and I think that's ultimately why people are so upset with R. Kelly and why people don't want to believe about Michael Jackson is because we've spent really, I'm 33 years old. I know I've spent literally the last 25 years of my life listening to R. Kelly music, really. And it's like, well, dang, he's been a pedophile all this time. I've loved his music. We've danced to his music. Some of us have done some other things to his music. And it's like, you know,
I ain't done.
But then it's like
Troy went there.
So it's like,
I mean, but it's the truth.
But it's the truth. So there's
what y'all been doing with R. Kelly's music?
But think about it. Now the narrative changes where it's like, dang, his mom was telling him no, but his body was saying yes. He was talking about a little girl. So it changes. It changes their mind. So now they're feeling guilty for supporting him for so long. But if the roles
I think it's a front.
If the roles were reversed,
nobody ain't stopped listening to R. Kelly's music.
And then when y'all talk about what they did for society, that brings me back to my original topic with Jay-Z.
Right.
Like, you're talking about a guy that started out dealing drugs. We can now look at that whole situation. Like he said, I talk about it because I don't want you to do the same thing, and he's giving back to society.
So let me ask this: if R. Kelly took the route that Jay-Z took, would it still be as dire of a situation as it is now?
Let me just say something. Now, a lot of people think, and I don't know, somebody would have to fact check this, that Jay-Z got with Beyonce when she was 17.
I've heard that.
But that's not.
And they also talk about Foxy Brown.
Right.
But didn't she get him in like 2002? She had to been like 20 or 19.
No, rumor has it was like 15 to 17.
Yeah, they were dating, but nobody knew they were dating. They kept
but
her
that's
out of the public eye until she was, until whenever she was old enough or whatever.
Right.
But I thought they first met with the Bonnie and Clyde, whatever it was called, single.
No, because like I remember maybe because I know that Excuse Me, what is it? Excuse Me, Miss?
Yeah, with Pharrell.
Yeah. That was for Beyonce.
And that was what?
Wait.
That was about 03.
He was basically trying to say that he was gonna switch up and everything for her and everything. That was his secret. I don't know. Like she might have been like I heard about you. I don't want.
But see, the difference between them in that situation and R. Kelly's situation is they didn't get caught.
Right.
So definitely nobody can prove it. It's just gonna stay a rumor, and then both of them are not gonna say, "Well, it's true."
And Michael Jackson was just.
And then there's still some people saying that during that whole situation with Best of Both Worlds that Jay-Z might have seen some of this and maybe partaken.
That's rough. So, I mean, I would have to go back and listen to. First of all, that was a great compilation, like them together. That was great, but something crazy happened on that tour, and I don't know what happened, but something crazy. He was talking about being threatened for his life and all that stuff, but I mean, could you imagine if like somebody from Jay-Z's crew like came in and was like, yo, like what are you doing? Like, why you got these little girls? We got all these women over here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something like that could have happened. Mm-hmm. But then that's the narrative that's kind of been put into my head, and I'm just kind of regurgitating it back based on my perception from the narrative that's already been given to me.
Yeah.
So it could have been anything. He could have just had a episode, which during this interview, it did sound like he was a little not only stressed, but he did have some mental things going on as well. You can kind of tell by his speech. It almost sounded like he really was kind of young, almost. Like, he didn't sound like a grown-up ranting. He almost sounded like a teenager or somebody, like, in their early 20s ranting. Yeah. It didn't sound like a grown man. Like, when he said, I had to go into Bank, I think I read he had to go into Bank of America or something like that.
Yeah, for the first time, like, in his life, he went to the bank and found out that he basically was broke.
I was like, what? And then you hear, like, I think it was Sparkle or somebody taught him how to read or something like that. So it's like, he grew up differently.
No, his wife taught him how to read.
His wife taught him how to read and whatnot. So it's like...
That was nice of her.
Right.
I mean, well, that was when they were married, probably.
It was before. That's why she couldn't believe all this stuff, is because he was so sweet when they first met.
That's why I don't know. Like, you can't.
But see, that's what everybody was saying. He was all sweet and kind and nice and generous.
That's it. That is what everybody said.
And then when they got with him and they were with him, he changed up and became some monster.
And then that's when he said they were describing Lucifer.
And he's like, I'm not Lucifer. Like, he's like, I don't know why these people are saying all these things about me. Like Troy said, he said, yes, in my past, I made mistakes. I've made a lot of bad mistakes. But I'm not making mistakes now. I'm not doing these things now.
And I think he might have been really talking about locking people up and making sure they don't got no, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't eat. I mean, technically, he never ever said, I am not with young girls. I'm literally just not doing that other stuff that y'all talking about. Like, I might have did all that other stuff, young girls, but y'all talking about locking people in basements. I am not doing that.
Exactly.
You know
like, you got to ask me to go use the bathroom? Nah, bruh.
I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. So
you want to eat? Go in this kitchen and make you sick.
I know that they are roasting him very slowly on social media. There's already a remix of that.
Oh, man.
That video.
Oh, dang.
Jersey's made a club song out of it already. It's out there.
But there's BCM of it already?
Oh, my
Baltimore Club music version of it?
They have already...
Oh, I got to find that.
Somebody yesterday has said that we should retire the Michael Jordan crying meme.
Bro, there's so many memes of that of him standing over Gail and like already, and I'm just like
wrecked. Destroyed.
And this is the reason why celebrities get to a point where they think about killing themselves and then they go do it.
Right.
Because they're going through this stuff and they're in the public eye because of their celebrity, and everybody is beating on them and beating on them and beating on them and beating on them.
Forget it.
And even if, like we said, even if he is telling the truth, no one is going to believe it because of, again, and like I said, I'll give this to Joy and to Troy, that perception. But the perception is a reality of what we know that he's done in his past. And because now it's like you can take his past of being with these young girls and you can actually link it now to the present of him being with young girls. And we know these girls were young. It's kind of just like, okay, now we know you did it now. Like there's no way that you didn't do any of what happened in the past and what is being said of you now.
And that's the part that's kind of crazy because somebody mentioned this while I was in high school. I remember they was like, there's got to be something about R. Kelly. I don't know if he has a mental issue or if he has like he's battling with himself. Because it's like one album, it'll be like, feeling on your booty, you know what I mean, or it'll be something like raunchy. But then the next one, it's like
inspiration.
Heaven, I need a hug.
Yeah.
And, I believe I can fly. You know what I mean? So it's like. One part of him is like, yo, listen, this is what I believe, move your body like a snake, man, like, seriously. And then the next is like, prayer changes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's up and down with him. So I don't know if he's going through this, and maybe the person that was in the interview is the person that's on this side where the inspirational music is coming from.
Yeah.
But that other guy that's in his body is this person who is all over these young girls. I don't know what's going on, but
I mean, it sounds like he got multiple personalities.
And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he did.
But that's what I had said like a while ago. Is that we saw the documentary where somebody created him into a monster because they were taking advantage of him, and basically he got pushed into stardom, where he basically this whole time was probably trying to take his power back. From what somebody. That's why I said that, and I just want to make this clear. 'Cause I don't want nobody to go out there saying that I was saying R. Kelly was innocent.
I heard of that.
Yo, don't watch this show.
Darnell said that R. Kelly was innocent. I'm going to hashtag that.
Go to jail, but at the same time, he needs therapy while he's there. Yeah. And I'm not saying that Michael Jackson is innocent or guilty. I'm just saying that people should not sit here and all change the narrative because it's Michael Jackson.
But
I just think the fact that he's not here to defend himself, and they waited strategically until he wasn't here to defend himself to release this documentary.
And that's what makes you look bad because you did that. But then
it might have happened though, and that's the part that stinks.
Exactly.
But yeah, my thing is, but how can you get justice though?
Right.
Like Michael Jackson is gone. You can't get justice.
There's no justice. Yeah, I said that on Tuesday. Michael, he's dead. Like there's nothing that's gonna happen unless what they're gonna dig his grave up.
I know, right? Put it in prison.
Freaking prison.
I know, right? Put it in prison next to the inmates.
But how is that justice for you? They're not playing his music. That's what people. It's not like you were going around listening to it anyways. So what difference does that make in your life?
And that was something that we actually talked about with Joy and Linnell when they brought up the whole Bobby Brown story and the way they portrayed Whitney. Right. It's like there were people that did know that Whitney was that way, but a lot of people didn't want to believe that. But Whitney was that way before Bobby.
That's what.
But everybody wanted to make
make him the problem.
Yeah, make him the bad guy, and he said that in the movie. And like people have said, Whitney was that while she was alive, they said that because I seen interviews. They were like, Whitney was on drugs before Bobby.
Yeah,
this was while she was alive. But I saw a whole lot of people. Like when that movie came out, she can't have defend herself. I'm like they said it while she was alive.
Right. Yeah, and it wasn't like
because
she even said it wasn't true.
Right. Yeah, because even at that time, everyone was acting like Whitney Houston was America's sweetheart, and she met the devil. Yeah. Like he just introduced her to all this other stuff. Because I heard that Bobby Brown introduced her to drugs. Because I never been in and went into an in-depth thing about what Whitney was doing before Bobby. Right. I just know what the media was saying, and I just kind of find that hard that they're just acting like Bobby Brown just jammed a joint in her mouth. And I don't know, I just find it weird that people just don't try to kind of see it both sides. Right. Bobby Brown may have been doing drugs, but that doesn't, and him and Whitney Houston could have, maybe they connected through drugs. I don't know what the connection was, but we don't know either. So I just feel like, because like Darnell said before, Bobby Brown had a bad reputation. Right. So it's easy to blame him. And Whitney Houston was what do you call those people? Cookie cutter? What do you call the really, really good people, the sweet people? I guess that's the image Whitney Houston was portraying. So that's just how we all saw her.
Well, and then you can also look at it like what we were saying about R. Kelly. She did all the gospel music and stuff like that. So people saw her as an angel.
I mean, if you watch the Bobby Brown story, from my recollection, the only real drug that he was doing before he met Whitney was weed.
You're talking about the only real drug.
I mean, that was the only thing. I mean, that was the only thing that you seen him doing was drinking and smoking weed, and it was like when he got with Whitney, she was really the reason why he started doing crack and doing all these other stuff. And if my memory serves me correct, that's how it went. in the story.
Right.
So it was like, like you said, I mean, Whitney was looked at as America's sweetheart because of the pastor's wife, the songs that she was singing, the persona that she had out in the public was, I am the sweetheart. So when the drugs came, everybody, like we said, Bobby Brown was already known for being the bad boy.
Right.
So it was just easier for people to say, okay, Bobby did this.
But that kind of goes back to what we talked about the last time I was on the show when we had a guest, and she had mentioned how the industry, how they put out kind of, I guess, it's not real. It's like, oh, you're gonna be this or you're gonna be that, and it's like she might have bought into all that. And I'll be honest, I want to say my wife's family did go to their church in New Jersey. Hope, I think it's Hope Baptist or Mission Hope or something like that, and which our mom still goes there. And it's like, you would have probably never thought that, Whitney, no, not Whitney, not our Whitney. That's what people probably said, not our Whitney, but it's not your Whitney. That's the industry's Whitney now. In the industry, that particular music industry, once you get into it, they're going to start giving you things based on what I've heard that they can control you with. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of the things that some people don't make it out of.
They turn you into what they want you to be,
right?
What they think is gonna make them money.
I mean, look at Lil Wayne.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Lil Wayne. Just look at him. Look at him.
What is that Lil Wayne style? That leopard print with the pink leopard hat on. What is that going on with Lil Wayne?
But if you look at him. But if you look at Nicki Minaj.
You say you can't forget.
When you see Nicki Minaj's before pictures, she looks straight up like a guy, like a guy, tomboy, and if that's what she want to look like, that's fine. But then when she got signed, it was like
sex sells.
No, exactly. You're gonna be wearing this, and this,
Barbie.
And you're gonna do this, and this. And then she was just like, and she wanted to make the money, obviously. So she said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And she sold into it. She got into it. She became Nicki Minaj and got all the surgeries done. And I mean, and for her, it worked out for her.
Right.
I mean, it don't work out for everybody.
And it looks terrible now.
It does.
I just want to say that. She looks like she's permanently wearing a dress.
I mean, well, I mean, we all know what happened to Lil' Kim.
Right. That's
that was a.
Ooh, what is that? That is not Lil' Kim. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, she looked nothing like Lil' Kim from back in the day when we was.
She looks Hawaiian or something.
Right.
Nose. Oh man,
that's just Kim.
But I mean, that's what happens. But what I was gonna say earlier was you had brought up a point, and I was gonna say the same argument that you had brought up for R. Kelly could be used for Michael Jackson, as far as what was it? You brought, what was that point? Because I had something I wanted to say about it. I think it was something to do with the music. And,
talking about the spiritual music?
No. Troy said that.
Yeah, that was definitely.
It was something else. I can't remember now.
Was it with the switching of the storylines?
Dang, what was it? It was dang it just left me. It'll come back. I'll remember when it comes back.
Just left.
I'll tell y'all, but it was just something because I felt like it was the same argument that could have been argued for Michael Jackson in the sense of, Michael Jackson being innocent.
Are you talking about the perception thing?
No, it wasn't that. If it comes back to me, I'll say it.
I just feel like Mike, I think like Joy said, I think no proof, no evidence, no clear cut. Like, hey, I got a picture, video, or something of Michael Jackson doing this to this child. It's all speculation. R. Kelly, hey, you got with Aaliyah when she was young, which I don't know how old R. Kelly was when he was with Aaliyah. I don't know the age.
He was probably, I think he was 30, 28 or 30 or something like that.
I think he was like in his mid to low 30s.
So, I mean,
somewhere in that range.
So I don't know. I mean, but either way, it still, I guess, was bad at that particular time. Still bad now, even though we see that narrative kind of often. Because I don't really see a difference between really 17 and 18. Personally, 15 to 18, it's pretty much.
You know what? Yeah. Honestly, I don't see a difference with 15 and 18.
Yeah,
y'all, I just want to say the girls that I have gone to school with are very mature.
The one big difference between 15 and 18 is the consent factor.
3 years.
Well, see, but we're talking. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about the mind. 15 to 18 is kind of very, very close. And to me, when I think about it, it's like, all right, when we're in high school, and I remember this, not so much myself, but a lot of the seniors, 18, 19 years old, what are they going to do? Senior year starting, new freshmen are coming in, right? Mm-hmm. You think about it. Those are just 12 and 13-year-old kids. They were just in 8th grade in elementary school. But here you are, practically a grown man, about to go to college, and you're trying to get these young girls because, they might not have the mental capacity to be like, yo, he's playing me. Mm. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So think about it like this. Those girls go on to be, 15, 16 years old. They've had this experience with these older gentlemen who might have just turned 18, 19 years old. They already got played already. Let's just go out there and say they've been played already. They've matured. Mm-hmm. Between 15 now to 18, when they're about to graduate college, what are they doing? They're not looking for people who might be in college. They might be looking for that same pattern, people who are about to graduate from college, or older men. Mm-hmm. Because
in my day, like dating an 18-year-old was hot, being like 13 or 14.
I mean, yeah.
It was. That means you're like, you're hot because you're with an 18-year-old. Cool. So I just kind of, in my day, when I was 14.
Right.
So like because when the whole thing with the R. Kelly situation is, I feel like people take way too much. They act like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds are just completely dumb. Right. Like they're not aware of anything. Like they're just, like they're an infant. Yeah. They just jump when you want them to. But the women at 13, 14, we're in touch with our sexuality at like 13, 14. Right. We know exactly what it is, what we're doing, the clothes you wear to try to seduce people. Like we're aware of all of that. So when I hear people talking about women at 14 are just acting like, oh, well, they're innocent, poor thing. They had no choice. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what situation they were in. When I see a 14-year-old with a mini skirt on, who is she trying to attract? Like, what is that message?
But you got to remember, the one thing we got to keep in mind, though, is back when we were 14 and 13, it wasn't as prevalent as it is now.
They got more information.
It's worse now.
It's worse now. And now
it is worse.
Then, and that's the thing about when they're looking at it with R. Kelly, because back then, 14 and 13-year-old girls were more innocent than they are now. Now, I mean, I can open up my Twitter feed and dang near watch porn on it.
Brian, I disagree, because look at the media. But no, just look at the media. Look at how 14 and 15-year-old girls were portrayed. You see Destiny's Child, Aaliyah, they were like, 15, 16? And they have their midsections out. They're clearly doing sets. It's a set sales thing. And these are kids that they have out there like that. So I don't believe that's something that started in our day or started now. Because you already have those girls presented that way.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there was a clear difference in back when we were 14 and 13 versus now, in a sense of now. The times are worse now for 13 and 14-year-old kids. I mean, kids now are having sex younger and younger and younger, whereas when we were 13 and 14, you might come across a few kids that had sex, but not everybody, not all of your friends had sex. No, nowadays, 13, 12, 11, like everybody you know has already had sex. Kids are having sex at like 8 years old now. Right. Back then,
dang, Brian.
But it's true.
I guess.
Brian. When we were in high school.
8 years old?
Yes. Yes, when we were in high school, when we were in middle school, I maybe only had, out of all my friends, maybe like one or two people had already had friends.
That's true.
Everybody else didn't.
Yeah.
Like, no, everybody else didn't. But if I was to go to school right now, to a middle school, and make friends, I guarantee you, all of them are going to be like, yeah, I'm not a virgin.
That's crazy.
Man, they look old now. I saw those kids come off the middle school bus like high schoolers.
Exactly, and it's just like, bruh, you like 10 years old. What you mean you already had 3 partners? Like, what?
Brian, I'm still stuck on the 8 years old.
But
it's the time that we live in.
But I guess I bring that up to make a point. It's like,
yeah.
He was in his 20s, going into his 30s. He had these girls. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes, especially now, I don't know how it was back then, but now, when you look on Instagram and all these places you're looking, you're like, man, like, how old is she?
Yeah, you never know now.
She looks like she's like 19, 20, but again, as I said earlier, makeup, I mean, can change a whole person's
makeup,
everything.
Filters,
makeup, the worst.
Filters, airbrushing.
So now it's like you have to question, like, man, all right, is this a minor? Is this a man? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like
that is a whole nother topic. You can't even tell a lot of times nowadays. Like, oh man, like, especially if they really know what they're doing. Like, if they don't know what they're doing, or they just getting out, then you can be like, oh yeah, that's
sitting there. You're like,
But now you gotta question yourself. Like, man, like, am I? Is this supposed to be?
Y'all gotta start asking for those birth certificates.
But see, that's what I'm saying. R. Kelly was not here asking for, licenses and birth certificates. He's like,
well, he better start 2019.
Now you have to start. I don't know. Like, there was no way. Once, like you said, those filters and that makeup game came up, and the issues that he had, there's no way I wouldn't be like, I gotta change my game up, man. Like, I gotta. And he was married too. His wife's not a bad-looking lady.
Look, after everything that happened with Aaliyah and then with peeing on the girl allegedly, I would have been like, if I was R. Kelly, I would have been like, yeah, like you said, like, something's got to change. Like, I got to change this because I will not be back under the public eye again.
I think how he married Aaliyah and she didn't pass away and they were still together or whatever, it probably would have been all good. But I think it would have been all. I'm telling you, eventually they would have accepted it. And it would have been all good.
Oh yeah, I mean, by now it
would have been. I mean, really, it's 3 years. I mean, 3 years, I guess, technically to the consent age. So it's like, eventually it would have been like, oh, okay. But Aaliyah, she didn't seem like an immature young girl either. She seemed like she was somebody that kind of had her things together. So that might have been attractive. Might have been attractive to him. Not so much, not so much to any of us, but that might have been attractive to him. And I guess that's what makes it weird. And I guess that's what makes Michael Jackson strange, is that he'd rather spend time with children than adults.
That's what it
allegedly
was. I remember now. Thank you, Troy.
That's it.
The argument, what I was going to say.
What do you mean, thank you, Joy?
I said Troy.
Oh, I thought you said Joy. Okay, whatever. I heard the O-Y. All right, go ahead.
The upbringing that R. Kelly had for what happened to him and him being, taken advantage of as a little boy, the same thing was said about Michael Jackson, where Michael Jackson didn't really have a childhood because of the Jackson 5 and his father and things like that. So a lot of times people were saying that Michael Jackson was sometimes still a kid in his mind. So he thought that hanging out with boys was okay. People were saying that about Michael.
Like, always little boys, or did he ever hang out with little girls at all?
I've never seen him with.
No, I've never heard him. I never heard anybody say he was hanging out with little girls. It was always little boys. But he was always
Corey Feldman. Yeah, Corey Feldman said that too.
So it was like, so he thought. So I mean, again, with the upbringing, and that was to say that could be the same argument for Michael Jackson.
But who said anything about the upbringing?
Already all the way there. And when it came to that part of his mind, he was just literally a child still.
Yeah, so, but I don't know about that, Brian.
Again, I mean, we don't know what the situation was with Michael Jackson. That's the same again, as well as with
but we know the situation with R. Kelly.
All we know is with R. Kelly, we know what we physically see, what we see.
Yes, he married a 15-year-old.
And the sex tape. We know that for a fact.
I didn't see that. I just want to.
And
yeah,
you never seen it?
No, I've never watched it.
I seen it in middle school.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Elementary.
You know, Brian was getting into some stuff in middle school.
In elementary school, it was middle school.
Dang, elementary.
It was in 7th grade when I seen it.
I didn't see it.
I was like, everybody was talking about it. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was just like, the other video, 2 girls in 1 cup.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I didn't see that either.
I saw that too. That is.
Brian, you didn't try that with nobody?
No.
Once you saw it.
But it was. But the thing about it is, you know, the kids in school were talking about it, and that's how I seen it. Because I didn't even know about the R. Kelly situation until I was in school and kids were talking about it. You know, I didn't know that he married Aaliyah until I got old enough to understand the R. Kelly situation. But I knew about the sex tape, and I seen it before I knew he married Aaliyah.
I mean, did he look like him? It was kind of dark. I don't know.
It was.
I remember the stills.
I can't even remember it.
It was. I mean, it wasn't good
that
quality.
was the
It wasn't like it was.
It wasn't HD.
But it wasn't like HD VHS quality film.
That was around the time of Napster and LimeWire,
right.
so you could download it through those third parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I can't even remember how. I think
So y'all downloaded it?
Laptop or something. And they brought it to school and I seen it. Because the teacher, I remember the teacher had walked out of class to talk to another teacher. And we knew they were going to be like out there talking for a second. So we were just like, the teacher just let us do whatever. And like somebody was like, hey, yo, y'all want to see the R. Kelly's tape? And like half the class was like, yeah. So they went. And I was talking to a friend and I was like, what's going on over there? And my friend was like, I don't know. So then I just happened to just walk over there to see what everybody was watching. And I looked and I was just like, I just watched it. I didn't know what I was watching. Right. I was like, is he peeing on that girl? And everybody's like, he's peeing, you know. And it was this big thing because we were all in middle school, you know, we're 7th graders. But yeah, I saw that and knew that before I knew he married Aaliyah and she was underage. That's ridiculous. So that's really, I mean, it's like after that you have this perception. But then when he goes to court and he's found not guilty and the girl says it's not her, it's like you said earlier. You know, people were just like, oh, okay, well, he was found not guilty. The girl said it wasn't her. He's still putting out all this great music. Right. I mean, it is what it is. Jam. And now all this comes up and it's like you said.
People mad.
Oh, dang. Oh, man. Bump and grind.
I made my kids
Was he bumping and grinding to a little... Oh, man, you know?
Right. Seems like she was ready.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about bumping and grinding. I'm just thinking about Step in the Name of Love.
But that's
a grown folk song.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, you go back.
Talking about a grown folk song.
That's what I'm saying. You go back to 12 Play and a lot of those things. Like, I mean, people have been rocking with R. Kelly for a long time.
We all know Joy is innocent. She's not partaking in that bumping and grinding.
Oh, Lord.
What you mean? I just think Step in the Name of Love was R. Kelly's best song after I Believe I Can Fly.
I don't know about best song.
It is. I love that song.
A lot of songs.
And that's the part that's sad is because it's like now it's like if I be like, oh, I want to listen to R. Kelly who has this crazy catalog of music. Now I gotta be like, no, I gotta be a closet listener.
Yeah, because if you listen out in public, people are gonna look at you like, are you really listening?
Don't nobody care. When I hear them listen to that 2019 music, I look at them the same way.
That's true.
And not because they molested somebody, but because the music sucks.
I remember when that Surviving R. Kelly, my neighbors were bumping R. Kelly. Like they didn't have a care in the world. It was
why would
windows
you?
open.
So no, a lot of people were playing it to hear specific. Okay, so they weren't doing that.
They were having a party over there.
Because who does?
Wait, while this was going on, while the doctor. No.
Yeah. They were out there. Windows open and everything, singing R. Kelly.
Backyard party. Yeah, come on.
That's another grown folk song.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's hard because his music is really, really good. It's just, it sucks because he made some really, really terrible life choices. not like personal choices, but just overall like life choices.
Yeah.
Like, how could you do this to us?
Exactly. And
everybody needs a second chance. Y'all are religious, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
All three of y'all somewhat religious. I'm somewhat religious, and I can't really remember because I haven't read a Bible in like 900 years. But weren't there like 14-year-old girls in there married to like older men?
And that's the thing. I mean, historically, it's something that's happened forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just somewhere along the line. I don't know where the line was drawn, where something must have happened where there was like, all right, we gotta shut this down and put some consent on this.
Yeah, I seen it in the Game of Thrones.
Right. You know, think about,
and they're messing with family members.
Think about the color purple.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Yeah,
was
that blew my mind in the Game of Thrones. I was like, wait a second, aren't they sister and brothers?
Right. And it was mad young. They were young. But that's what I'm saying.
They were?
Well, yeah, I think when they got together.
I don't know. I never watched.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, I'm just talking about the show, but you're talking about you think they were doing it for their whole life.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think one day they just was like, oh, we should, you know.
They might have.
Yeah,
At 18, they could have been like, you know what, I'm curious.
But we coming up towards the end of the show. I got before this thing cuts me off and everything. But y'all want to give out your social medias?
Go ahead, Joy.
I want Troy to go first.
Okay.
She's trying to say
Troy,
first.
no, you're going wild.
Promote your podcast.
Yeah. Troy from Debate Amongst Friends. You can follow us on Debate Amongst Friends on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can follow me at TL Double on Instagram and on Twitter as well.
All right, Joy.
All right, y'all can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Creativa_Deeds88. You can also catch me on Facebook at Joy Deeds. And also you can check out my blog on quarantineenterprise.com and also BloodRose2016 WordPress.wordpress.com.
All right, you done?
What you waiting for, Brian? I had to get all that out. Now I got to drink some water.
And y'all know y'all can find me at KingKent_1914 on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. DJ L just dropped our interview from Saturday with our special guest Brent Gaskins and Julian Bertano. So definitely go check those out. Part 1 is Brent. Part 2 is Julian. You all may know, if you are a fan of Greenleaf, you will recognize Julian. But both of those guys are some good guys. It was a good interview. Looking forward to going back up to High Point, as I said, on Tuesday again to interview some more people. Shout out to I did it on Tuesday and I didn't ask you, but I shout out Wave Radio. We good to do that, right? We shout them out. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So again, shout out to Wave Radio coming right out of the Bertano Studios. Shout out to everybody up there. Looking to get on that show soon. We're gonna be on that show too sometime soon. Be on the lookout. Got a couple projects coming out. Working on some things coming in the works. So I'll let y'all know when they happen.
There you go.
Other than that, go ahead, DJ.
All right, so just to run down everything, if you need some Dreamville Festival tickets, hit me up, info@quarantineenterprise.com. If you're looking to play flag football in the RDU area, any women, just hit me up at info@quarantineenterprise.com. I'll let you know exactly how to get part of the team. Our first scrimmage is this weekend, Sunday at Dillard Road Middle School and everything. Our first game is going to be March 24th. I do have, for our team, I have a photographer and videographer, so we're going to be trying to get our team name out there and everything like that. Other than that, I can't think of. I got to double check because I haven't set up the calendar, but I believe we have some people for next week. I got to double check on that. If not, we might just have open discussions and everything. But other than that, yeah, I do appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow all platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. On iTunes, make sure that you rate and comment on iTunes. Let's say YouTube. And then I think I said everything. Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, and yeah, I believe that's everything. So we are on all vast platforms. Make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, comment, rate. Do all of that. All right. So other than that, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll check you out next week. This show has been quarantined. All right.
Hey, this is Nola Island. You are now rocking with you.
Yo, what up, Wallace? You at 504 Detroit. You already know every Tuesday, every Thursday, I'm tuned in to the hottest radio station. Quarantine Radio. We put it down and they play all the hottest new music.
It's your boy Gabe, and I want to give a big shout out to Quarantine Radio. Make sure you check them out every Tuesday and every Thursday. And thank you for supporting my new single, Down Low.
I want to hear that you're so free listening to Quarantine Radio.
Yo, what's up, man? It's the Kid Swift, a baby. Young Swift. One time for the check-in with my dog, my homie, Dylan McKenzie. Straight out of ATL, Georgia. And you know how we rockin' out here, baby. Let's get it.